Only catch him. The King of Horses fan club can be more united. Hear this. Li Yuyang didn't know what to say for a while. Because of his interference, it completely changed the fate of the people around him. He really didn't know if it was the right thing to do. King of Horses Club building. Li Yuyang took out an envelope. This is a formal employment contract. Start today. Lu Hong is the manager of the King of Horses Club. Take the envelope. Lu Hong's face was full of incredulity. Have you really decided? However, the next second, he just froze in place. Because Li Yuyang has already taken off his mask. The true identity of King Ma made Lu Hong speechless. The room suddenly became awkward. Li Yuyang stared at Lu Hong with a solemn face. If you don't want to sign a contract after knowing the truth, it can also be as if nothing happened. However, Lu Hong still did not answer. He just couldn't accept this reality. In fact, this is also a decision made by Li Yuyang after careful consideration. If you want to get rid of that nightmare completely, perhaps only a showdown can bring it all to an end. And even if there is no Lu Hong, Lu Shuriwei has also become a member of the team. This talented player, Li Yuyang, will never let go. I believe that with Lu Hong's experience and talent, definitely not because of personal emotions, just give up the good future. Besides, according to the experience of Li Yuyang's previous life, even without his help, Lu Yanran, the life of the three siblings will also get better and better. Although it is by inglorious means to ride a horse, it also shows that they are all capable. The wait is long. Lu Hong still looked at Li Yuyang dumbfounded. Until half a minute later, Li Yuyang's confidence was finally shaken. He didn't dare to confirm whether his judgment was correct, and looked at Lu Hong's eyes. Li Yuyang suddenly felt a chill spread throughout his body. There are only the two of them in this room. If Lu Hong's temper is on the top now, Lao Tzu shouldn't die directly at the hands of this guy. Don't forget that he's the urging manager. I definitely can't beat him in reality. Come to think of it, Li Yuyang's hands couldn't help but tremble. He meowed carelessly. It should be called Ryu to come together. However, without waiting for Li Yuyang to ask, Lu Hong suddenly laughed. The laughter came too unexpectedly, made Li Yuyang directly stunned in place. It's really funny. My sister and I have been chasing the old bird for more than half a year. It turned out to be the same person as the idol king Ma Dong. It's also too dramatic. Lu Hongxiao's tears came out. Anyway, this feeling is too subversive. Lu Hong didn't know how to choose. Memories go back to before the year of Equin. It was my father's funeral. That day was the beginning of the collapse. Lu Yanran and her sister's desperate expressions. Until this moment, Lu Hong remembers it clearly. After that, I came into contact with the game of the Supreme God. The siblings created accounts together. In the game, they felt more relaxed than ever. Then came the birth of the King of Horses. This game is a genius to grind. The attitude of pressing won the national championship. Lu Yanran also has a new sustenance. Like that man, is the pillar that supports all this. Immediately after that, it was to chase the old bird to the North Road. Although they have endured a lot of hardships along the way. But he also saw the opening of a new continent. Duration. Lu Yanran's hatred for the old bird is also increasing. But think about it this way. Lu Hong's guilt suddenly became much smaller. Speaking of which, from beginning to end, it's my sister who wants to kill the old bird. I've never hated you. My dear boss Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined it. It turns out that this is how it feels when I drop my vest. Lu Hong's attitude presents a 360-degree shift. This he meowed directly to make Li Yuyang speechless. Said, although my sister hates the identity of the old bird, but King Madong, but it really helped us? Even if my sister knows the truth, I think he'll accept you too. Immediately afterwards, Lu Hong showed a grateful expression. Thank you for revealing your true identity. And if there is no appearance of the old bird and the king of Ma Dong, My sister won't really love playing games either. Originally, he just regarded the supreme god as making money. Machines. As he spoke, Lu Hong bowed deeply. Thank you again for taking care of our family. Start today. I'm one of your employees. Looked at the respectful Lu Hong. Li Yuyang couldn't help but fall silent. He also thought that things were likely to work out. But I didn't expect it to go so smoothly. Lao Tzu, is this already solved? Lu Hong was decisive in the contract. Signed his name. Henceforth, you're going to have to worry a lot about club things. You can discuss it with your colleagues in the future. The club has just been formed. But Li Yuyang didn't plan to recruit only such a few people. Wait for the boss to finish. Lu Hong opened his mouth and asked for something. Don't tell my sister who you are just yet. King Ma has become his spiritual sustenance. I'm afraid he won't be able to take it. This is the boss's good employee. There is no need for Li Yuyang to speak at all. Has already helped the boss solve his worries. Of course, Li Yuyang has no opinion. The person you like and the person you hate are the same person. Such a reality will indeed hit Lu Yinran. So Li Yuyang at the beginning. I'm not ready to reveal my identity now. From a bystander's point of view, though, Lu Yinran doesn't hate old birds. But I like King Ma Dong too much. That's why I have an aversion to old birds. But since my father died, Lu Yinran is rarely so motivated. Only when chasing old birds. Lu Hong can see the liveliness. As sister just pondered it carefully. Sister's attention to the old bird. It has even surpassed King Ma Dong. He's made it his job to hunt down old birds. Hear this. Li Yuyang fell silent. When the blackened old bird appeared, the whole network is running away from the old birds. Only Lu Yinran saw that it was an imposter. Is this fate? Whether it is King Ma Dong or the old bird, none of them can get rid of the fate. In a small talk, Li Yuyang put away his smile. I've got something to ask you next. You have to tell me the truth. Of course, Lu Hong agreed. However, the next second he was stunned again. Because Li Yuyang's question is who? He's aiming at your big brother. Hear this. Lu Hong's face also showed a hint of solemnity. You're really not an ordinary person. How do you know there's someone above me? Li Yuyang's face is calm as your boss. I feel like I should be qualified to know that. Say the person's name. Lu Hong remembered to grit his teeth. It's because of him. My father would die. In fact, Li Yuyang has long known some insider information. In his previous life, he had heard Lu Hong call. And on the other end of the phone, it's that so-called big brother. Lu Hong's Black Belt business and Black Heart Studio. In fact, they are all one of the industries of Big Brother. They're just horses. But now it seems, Lu Hong's hatred for his eldest brother is not just about exploitation. Since he already plans to help Lu Yinran's family, then help to the end, doing half and leaving half is not Li Yuyang's style. That bastard is specialized in black production. He took in a lot. Orphans like myself and my sister. In fact, we have nothing to do with him. And my father also died because of that match. But don't worry. We've distanced ourselves from him. Hear, hear. Li Yuyang couldn't help but complain. If you can really draw the line, there's no need for me to cut a corner. Right now, Lu Hong remembered a century. That guy seems to have invested in the gaming industry as well. He's done it high. I heard about this Asian Cup League. He was one of the sponsors. The origin of the Big Brother. It has exceeded Li Yuyang's expectations. Even a behemoth like Shitakami can interfere. That guy's energy really can't be underestimated. By the way, my eldest brother's name is Ma Dongsheng. Hear those 3 words. Yuyang couldn't calm down anymore. He froze straight in place. Say it again. What's your big brother's name? Lu Hong was taken aback. He had to repeat it again. After getting confirmed, Li Yuyang suddenly felt a chill down his spine. Their eldest brother turned out to be that terrifying man. He's a cage, a dark cloud over the heads of all the pros. In Li Yuyang's previous life, this guy's on his own, dried up the entire esports industry. That is, from the beginning of his entry. The supreme god is slowly declining. I can't think of this life. You can still hear the name. The only thing that can bring down esports is love. It's just this man with glasses. This guy was very famous in Li Yuyang's previous life. It is the time when the Gaussian Pro League is in full swing. He entered the game with foreign capital. But this old boy started as a black industry. For maximum benefit, he can be described as doing all kinds of evil. Buy off players, play match fixing. Unplug the opponent's network cable. Set up an underground gambling game. Until Wakayu retires. This impartial coach boldly exposed Ma Dongxing's evil deeds. Everyone was shocked by what he was doing. Although Ma Dongxing harvested a pair of silver handcuffs. But the fairness of esports has also been broken. As a result, many pros miss out on their best years. There are also many people who want to get immediate benefits. I actually gambled on my career. That's what a horse is. Everything Dongxing did recalled these worlds. Li Yuyang couldn't help but go for a while. I didn't expect to hear the name at this time. He trembled with excitement. Originally, Ma Dongxing is the eldest brother of Lu Yinran and Lu Hong. That guy is the one behind everything. See this scene? Lu Hong couldn't help but ask, "Have you heard my eldest brother's name?" But Li Yuyang didn't reply. The room fell silent again. Only Li Yuyang, who was trembling all over, remained. And under his hands, it's an unstoppable battle. Everything can be connected in series. No wonder that nightmare keeps haunting me. It turns out that you old thing is the most important thing. Nightmare gets the ultimate solution to its problem. Li Yuyang's smile could no longer be hidden. Just smash Ma Dongxing's conspiracy. He will allow the Most High God to live for 5 more years. No, it's 10 more years to live. Come to think of it, Yuyang's smile is even stronger, and the old thing is old. Let the horses come. Let's see how the Master sends you to heaven as soon as possible. Night falls, but some people's nightlife is just getting started. What is the difference between a hero and a villain? Heroes are always alone. They don't really have a fixed goal. Just want to spoil other people's good deeds. And the villain is different. Not only eat to huddle for warmth, and it has a very clear purpose. That's to make money. An old man with glasses is talking. Just like us. It can be brought together so quickly. Ma Dongxing's words attracted the reunion of the younger brothers. Everyone was raising their glasses to the old man. As the head of the organization, Ma Dongxing is everyone's godfather. His words are also the Jingu Yuli of the organization. Ma Dongxing liked the process very much. This is the ultimate enjoyment of power and money. As the CEO of the Red Moon Group, Ma Dongxing is naturally arrogant. Proud qualifications. And he was lucky too. Under the judgment of Ma Dongxing's fruit game, the Red Moon Group can turn from black to white so quickly. But Ma Dongxing knows it very well. Only scarce resources are mastered, in order to always walk in the forefront. In addition to real estate, finance, trade, etc., the red line is in the largest investment direction. It is a game industry that occupies a large number of users. In particular, virtual games are highly prerogative. Take his agency. You can eat a big piece of cake again. And Ma Dongxing is also actively operating. The scales of victory are tilting in favor of the Red Moon. Just when the old guy is enjoying the tout, a little gaga fu reports to the big brother. There are some things that you need to take care of yourself. Leave the room. Ma Dongxing became extremely impatient. I said it a long time ago. Don't disturb me during meals. Xiao Quack was so frightened that he quickly knelt down and apologized. But this matter involves Lu Yinran's 3 sisters and brothers. They have been gone for 2 months. Their location is never tracked. As soon as the words fell, Ma Dongxing's expression became twisted. He didn't like the feeling of being uncontrollable. What a bunch of rubbish. Can't even stand 3 people? But since Lu Shuriwei was discharged from the hospital, they never came home. I think they're deliberately avoiding you. Ma Dongxing's aura became more and more terrifying. Three little guys, this is a long skill. A person raised by Lao Tzu. Even if it is death, it must die at the hands of Lao Tzu. Give me 3 days to find them. Otherwise, I'll send you to the mines. Large map of ruined cities. This is a map made specifically for tryouts. It is personally designed by the designer of Zhigo God. No word was revealed before the game. It was on the day of the tryouts. The information on the map was only published. The rules of this contest are very simple. There will be 12 random maps on the map that are constantly expanding. Of the red area, avoid these areas and survive to the end. You will be able to qualify for the Asian Cup in order to balance the various races. The Most High God. Officials also gave another way to win. That's the special warehouse in the moving map. Just put them in the very center of the map. Also get a league ticket. The Most High God. The Tadosha Mode Selection Tournament has officially begun. Cast 50 players on a large map. Only survive to the end, or push the chest to the team in the center of the map. In order to get a ticket to the Asian Cup, the box itself is indestructible. Players can use any way to move them. However, the weight of the cargo box is very large. It takes 5 players to work together. To the point of moving. Shift. The moving box may be interfered with by other adversaries. Perhaps snatching the goods is the easiest way to do it. This is the ultimate battle royale. A new format developed specifically for tryouts. With the voice of the commentary passion, it reverberates. The tryouts are about to begin. Among the 50 teams that will be participating in the competition, the most interesting thing is the Horse King team. That's the senior team of the former league champions. I've heard that their members are very special. It's not just a group of people, and only 2 of them are champion pros. The other 3 are all newbies who have never competed. Loud cheers rang out in the arena. It's different from the previous version. Players are shouting names that belong to their own race. The word lizard man and orc. Right now, a different voice rang out in the venue. Li Yuyang led all the horse fans to come to help. Their unity has caught everyone's eye. King of horses, king of horses. King of the world. King of horses, king of horses, king. Since the Cataclysm version, though, the orc race and the lizardman race have risen. They have stat panels that far surpass those of the Terrans. So to speak, the Terrans are already an unpopular race. It is difficult to continue the miracle of King Ma Dong. With the loud shouts of the narrator, the competition has officially begun. The City of Ruins is constantly shining with light. There are a total of 50 candidates. They are randomly dropped to all corners of the map. After the players landed, all are looking for the right location. After all, it was the first tryout, even if it's a pro gamer. He also showed restraint and caution. Xiang has appeared, though, but not many people went to fight. It's too far from the center of the map. No one wants to be someone else's wedding dress. Right now, a small rattling roar was heard. He used all his might, but it can only make the warehouse move in a small area. No wonder no one came to grab it. With the power of just one person, it's hard to move fast. The reason why little Gagaku chose this place, because he has absolute confidence in his own power. As a top tank player, after becoming an orc, the strength attribute has been increased several times. He has self-confidence, even if it's moving slowly. It can also be unknown. Unknowingly, he smuggled it to the center of the map. With the efforts of Little Quack, the cargo compartment moved quietly at a steady pace. Right now, he perceived it to 4.2 billion. Little Quack hurriedly turned his head. Sure enough, someone was watching him from behind. Look at this dress up. It turned out to be the internet celebrity player Ma Dongwang. Although many people are very unoptimistic about the Terrans. But King Ma Dong is different. The name of the shadow art of man. Xiao Quack was so frightened that he hurriedly stopped. King Ma Dong didn't talk nonsense. Stay away. This is Lao Tzu's stuff. Little Quack didn't dare to resist. hurriedly left his original position. However, the obedient little Gagaku suddenly reacted. The influencer champion is also just the last version of the world. It's not necessarily Lao Tzu's opponent now. But King Ma Dong didn't care about Xiao Gaga watching the battle at all. He walked straight to the front of the cargo hold. It's time to make a name for yourself. Take advantage of the fact that King Ma Dong is not paying attention. Lao Tzu will be able to chop him to death with an axe. The arm was slowly raised. Ma Dong Wang is looking for the most suitable angle. And the little quack behind him. He didn't pay attention to it at all. Now is the time. Swing your arms quickly. There was a loud bang, and the imitation is going to explode. Under the force of a huge impact, the cargo compartment actually flew straight up. Until 10 seconds later, the heavy warehouse just fell from the sky. The ground shook as it smashed. See this scene? The entire venue fell silent. I don't even know how to speak. The audience was even more stunned. And the little quack who wants to sneak attack was so frightened that he sat on the ground. It has become the best green leaf paid by the king of horses. Just a punch. It made the warehouse move tens of meters. Does this really count as a skosh talker? Even the commentary. I couldn't find the right language for a while to describe the current king Ma Dong. It turned out to be just rules. The king of horses is still the king of horses. One was named the name of the internet celebrity team, a man who was discarded by the version. But at the beginning of the tryouts, with just one hand, he gauged everyone's mouths. This is King Ma Dong, the unrivaled king of Ma Dong. Before the start of the tryouts, after learning that the reborn world also has Ma Dong Sheng, Li Yuyang was very suspicious of this. The fairness of the tryouts has been up. Logically speaking, the Big Change version update didn't take long. The Asian Cup should not have been held in such a hurry. The tryouts shouldn't have been held at this point in time. But you obviously know some of the inside story. It's all because of certain people in the association. This schedule was formulated. Li Yuyang immediately thought of Ma Dongsheng. He was well aware of the man's energy. But if you are not worried, as long as you enter the top 3 in the selection competition, you can get a ticket to be selected. But only the number 1 seed will qualify for the playoffs. Backdogs, number 2 seed and number 3 seed. You'll have to take part in one more audition. So, our senior team, the first battle has to be played with style. However, Li Yuyang was not satisfied. First place in the district. The first place in the country was won last year. Since you want to play, of course you have to play a big one. The effect of crushing and defeating is naturally different. At this moment, the arena has become hot. All the spectators again, because of the man, was ignited. That's the beauty of violence. Only crushing is a man's romance. Li Yuyang hidden behind the armor. A familiar smile again. In my last life, I was just a little quack at the mercy of others. In this life, I'm going to be the hammer that crushes you. An iron box that cannot be damaged. Draw a perfect parabola across the sky. After a few seconds, there was a loud bang in the sky. The iron box smashed into the town in the distance. Li Yuyang calmly looked into the distance. Just as he expected, the amplitude of the moving iron box is linked to the attack stat. As long as the panel is high enough, then only by himself. That's enough for the chest to fly to the center of the map. The whole stadium was boiling. The King of Horses is also too strong. How the hell did he do it? Countless discussions resounded throughout the venue. Even the 2 commentators were stunned. How high is the attack power of the King of Horses? His way of doing it is not called pushing at all. As everyone knows, Li Yuyang is wearing a murderous mask. It has already provided him with tens of thousands of attack points. This one only has an A-level prop, but in Li Yuyang's hands, played a role beyond Egypt. Although the beauty kills a person only, increases attack by a point. But Li Yuyang is in the early stage of the game. It's already deliberately accumulating. Killing. Then he was in the mines. It also slaughtered hundreds of players of the same race. Long-term accumulation made Li Yuyang's kills reach tens of thousands. This is the secret of the Horse King's super high attack power. After slamming into the ground, the earthquake was launched instantly. For an iron box that no one else can shake. In front of Li Yuyang, it was like a toy. At the moment when the iron box flew up, the left hand begins to exert force. The snail quickly coalesces. There was a loud bang. The iron spear was once again shot into the sky, with a high attack damage bonus. The snail's damage effect is nothing short of terrifying. Li Yuyang looked at the sky with a smile on his face. The box was a bit heavier than expected. But it doesn't matter. It's a big deal to release the snail a few more times. Just as the King of Horses is about to head to the next drop point. Finally, there was a little quack who couldn't help it. Li Yuyang suddenly stopped. He looked slowly to his side. There are really people who are not afraid of death. Follow his gaze into the distance. A pair of little quacks don't know when. The King of Horses has been surrounded, judging by their equipment and appearance. This is a group of war bands formed by the recipient group. Li Yuyang sighed helplessly. Is Lao Tzu's movement too big? Why are so many people gathered around? Around the King of Horses. 32 pros have already gathered. The total number of participants in this selection competition is only 50. That is, most of them. The team players were attracted to the King of Horses. They know it all too well. According to one of the abilities of the King of Horses, terror. If you don't get rid of him, the rest may not even be able to drink the soup. Most of the players in the siege are orcs, although they outnumbered each other. But he was also very hesitant. After all, such a terrifying King Ma Dong. No one wants to be the first to die. But Li Yuyang also knew it very well in his heart. He was calculated. If it is not agreed in advance, it is impossible to gather so quickly. Of course, the selection competition started in a hurry. It's unlikely that these guys will have time to discuss specific strategies. That's why it causes paper surrounding. But no one attacked. Both the Cataclysm version and the tryouts. It's a bit abrupt for everyone else. They don't even have much time to prepare. But for Li Yuyang, it was different. It's all going at the expected pace. So it was actually this group of little quacks who were surrounded. Seeing that the King of Horses was stunned in place. Little Gaga, who thought the legendary champion was scared. However, not waiting for Xiao Quack to make a move. King Ma took the first step and said, I advise you, before you get your hands dirty, or think about it a little more, if you are my enemy, there is only one end. That is death. Don't think I'm joking. Because the King of Horses never laughs. Can the show version of God return to the top? Targeted by all pro gamers. King Horse 1v32. Will he still be able to fight his way out of the encirclement? No one dared to respond positively to King Ma's words. The little quacks were all suppressed by his aura. But then the king slowly raised his arm. Let me take a look. How strong can the Orc Corps counselor be? This provocative move completely outraged everyone. A touch of humiliation welled up in the hearts of those veteran players. They have been dominated by the King of Horses for a whole version. But the newcomers were all angry. An out-of-fashion internet celebrity champion. I really think of myself as a character. This meow. But the new version of the Terrans is no longer likely to win. The Orcs are even more clutches. There are 32 players from the professional team. All rushed over. Together, they charged towards the Horse King. However, the king remained indifferent. Version for me. It doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, the other side. Ma Ritian is confronting a small quack. Listen to the explosions in the distance. The little quack is very clear. They mobilized 32 people. King Vioma doesn't care how powerful that guy is. It's impossible to survive. So it's time for our battle to begin. Little Quack laughed and raised his tomahawk. As an orc tank, compared to the class version, his panel attributes have also been greatly improved. Ma Ritian also heard an explosion in the distance. He only groaned slightly. I immediately took my attention back. Li Yuyang had already said it before the war. They will most likely be common to all teams. The target of the fire. Don't wait for Ma Ritian to continue thinking. Little Gaga, who was already laughing maniacally, rushed over. Don't think about it. Your captain is gone. The voice did not enter. The bones of the drama have been smashed. Ma Ritian raised his hands to block. Feel the power of the axe. Ma Ritian's expression was still indifferent. He did not immediately launch a counterattack. But the little quack has become more rampant. Do you feel it? That's the power of the orcs. The Terrans are no longer good. I'm talking about being corrupted into a storm. Smashed wildly towards Ma Ritian. 360-degree coverage attack. The beaten horse couldn't move every day. Little Quack's laughter grew louder and louder. Die under the blow of my madness. It's not just a member of the championship team. There's only defense in front of me. However, the next second, prone to sudden changes. After a crisp shattering sound, Little Quack's axe shattered completely. Ma Ritian is still Ma Ritian. Look at the moment when the axe retreats. He smashed the axe with a precise punch. Axes collide with fists. It's actually himself. Little Quack couldn't believe it, but he didn't have a chance. From the hidden tyrant, slammed into Little Quack's face. There was a loud bang. A pair of 42-yard feet appeared in front of everyone. Ma Ritian, after adapting to the opponent's attack, a decisive counterattack was launched. I admit that your attributes are in. Above me is a jumble of attacks. It won't do me any harm. Your operation is not worth mentioning. The full episode Ma Ritian chases after the victory. The fist swept like a storm. Little Quack completely turned into a large punching bag. The rhythm has been completely mastered by Ma Ritian. I just have to do what I have to do. Kima doesn't need me to worry about it at all. You can't even understand how powerful he is. Huge flames erupted. The blazing breath swept through the audience in an instant. Little Quack looked ahead, dumbfounded. 32 people besieged, but was repelled by a blow. The Century Party that clearly launched the attack. They're the ones who shed the most blood. The flame is in the center. A figure slowly revealed. Are you ready to die? Seeing that the King of Horses alone forced back 32 people. This scene ignited the stadium again. It's all too familiar. The familiar King of Horses is back. Lu Yanran almost screamed at her throat. Even players of other races who have been powder transcribed. I couldn't help but be shouted by the King of Horses. But the commentary shows something different. Facing the rush of 32 people, the Horse King's armor seems to have been torn. The durability of his gear is rapidly decreasing. As a matter of fact, just now, the Horse King activated Oz's armor ability. It's an S, a counter-damage skill attached to leveled equipment. The person who attacked Li Yuyang takes 0.1% damage over time per second, until the opponent drops 10% of their maximum HP, and it will bounce back completely. The opponent attacked this time. However, the original equipment of the King of Horses was only A+ level. There is no way to withstand such a high damage attack. 32 professionals who have turned professional. Their combined blow. It really exceeded Li Yuyang's expectations. But the flames continued. Even if it looks like the Horse King's armor is broken, still no one dared to attack again. Step out of all. People are retreating, although they have already discussed it in advance. But no team wants to be the first to be eliminated. And the field just faced their impact. It's too big for this group of guys to be in a trance. It's back to the version dominated by the King of Horses. This is what Li Yuyang wants. Since you dare not move, then Lao Tzu is welcome. There are 32 professional players in the team under one person. Look at the entire esports world. It's also an extremely explosive phenomenon. Seeing that the little Gata didn't dare to do it. Li Yuyang slowly walked out of the flames. His momentum has overwhelmed everyone. With the power of the Horse King, The number of spectators in the stadium and outside the stadium is increasing. From 100,000 people at the beginning, it has skyrocketed to 300,000 now. Everyone is waiting for the crushing performance of the King of Horses. There are also more and more female fans outside the court. The appearance of the original orcs. It doesn't fit the girls' aesthetic. Today's King of Horses is back to its peak. It ignited the enthusiasm of the fans again. Even though the Cataclysm version has been updated, even if the dominant race has become orcs. But the King of Horses is still invincible. It's time to get on the field. The reason why Li Yuyang was able to do this step. And the loot points from defeating Oz. It doesn't matter. Although the pedigree. Heavy. I don't know what the use of this title is for the time being. But the armor of the Black Dragon King added by S. But it's a real reward. Especially the skill of Dark Counterattack. It also has the ability to strengthen the anti-armor. Li Yuyang had long anticipated this day. So he equipped the Black Dragon King armor in advance. The flames are still burning. The earthquake's lava effect has been triggered. Under the combined blow of 32 people, King Ma Dong still stood in place steadily. This scene made the little quack stunned. Damn King Ma Dong. How exactly did he do it? However, look closely. You can find out. The Horse King's armor is wrapped with black energy. Suddenly, a tingling pain appeared on the little quack's fingers. His skin was fading. Little quack screamed in fright. How my skin has darkened. And the health bar is constantly decreasing. Those who attack lose more blood. What the hell is this meow? A green glow appeared on King Ma Dong's chest. The second heart is working fast. Crispy Li Yuyang, who has a total blood volume of only 860. The health bar soon became full again. Horse King armor perimeter. Layers of scales were revealed. S armor strength, far beyond the original A+ grade. The Horse King's body seems to reveal the breadth of OS. He just stood where he was. It has brought endless fear to all the players. It's like this bunch of little quacks. It's not a player. It's the real Black Dragon King OSS. The atmosphere became more and more eerie. Before figuring out the situation, no one dared to strike at the King of Horses again. Right now, the King of Horses moved, and he walked forward calmly. Even if you're surrounded by a large crowd of enemies, the King of Horses still looked extremely relaxed. As everyone knows in the rush just now, Li Yuyang's blood volume was beaten with only one drop left. But there is the blessing of a second heart. His health bar was quickly restored. This created the illusion that the King of Horses was not injured. The sound of footsteps came into the bowl. However, there was still no little quack to stop it. The darkened skin keeps the little quack blood bar lower. They're busy covering their wounds, seeing the King of Horses going farther and farther. Finally, there was a little quack who couldn't help but want to do it. But his companions suddenly stopped him. Don't rush into action. This guy seems to have special defense items. Hitting him is tantamount to beating yourself. A raised platform in the distance. A man was silently watching all this. He officially rushed to the aid of the Dirt Cat. This was the first professional race that the Dirt Cat competed in. It was also the easiest fight he had ever fought. It's obvious. Old bird, this kid is already in control. Just before the start of the game, King Ma has already formulated a strategy in advance. Except for me and Ma Ritian. If others don't do it, be sure to retain your strength. In this way, it can be in the Asian Cup League, playing better in the game. The other side. Jing is still looking for a teammate. He seems to have lost his way in this big map. Not only can you not find the enemy, I can't even find my own people. Ma Ritian has also ended the fighting. As a professional player, Ma Ritian really doesn't need to be able to remain mysterious. Suddenly, a dark shadow fell from the sky. When a smoke team with no combat experience, stunned in place, he even forgot about dodging. The captain just said don't take it lightly. But I didn't say what I should do if someone beat me. The call to break was heard again. Thick flames filled the screen in an instant. King Ma Dong raised his fist again. He adjusted the angle. The arm began to build up strength. No one knows what the King of Horses is doing. Little Quack was even more frightened and kept retreating. Could it be that the King of Horses is brewing a big move? The next second, the palm of the hand quickly cut through the air. However, Li Yuyang's target is not the so-called enemy. It's the Taijiang River not far away. The snail and the earthquake are launched at the same time. The blazing flames push Li Yuyang's arm. Tremendous power exploded in an instant. The registration that was enough to shatter the eardrum resounded throughout the audience. The iron box was hammered into the sky by the King of Horses again. I've seen this scene once, though, but it's still shocking. The iron box flew towards the sky at a super fast speed. This time, the King of Horses used his power without reservation. The iron crates flew higher than ever. If you adjust the camera angle to the top of the map, you can see that the direction in which the box is flying is exactly the very center of the map. Everyone was too nervous to speak, because as long as the iron box is in the hole, this is the end of the tryout. This could be the quickest to end a tryout. One should be in the hole. King Ma proved it with strength. What is a crushing victory? The iron box is still flying in midair, due to the power output of the King of Horses. The flight altitude of the iron box. It's beyond everyone's imagination. The glasses of the two commentators are about to pop out, because the target of the iron box flying is the Battle Royale, the center of the map. The entire gymnasium fell silent. The audience all looked up. Stunned, he looked at the huge electronic screen. All eyes on you. It's all focused on the Horse King. It's as if he's locked up the tryouts in advance. There was a loud bang. The iron spear fell to the ground. A huge explosion shattered everything around. On the other hand, King Ma Dong, his full set has also run out of durability. The Black Dragon King's armor is of the S+ level, but the full set is still only A+. It simply can't sustain such a powerful impact. But it doesn't matter. The corners of Li Yuyang's mouth have been lifted. He has self-confidence. A shot can definitely go into the hole. The next second, the sound of the end of the game rang out in the gymnasium. Until this moment, the two commentators only then sounded and said their lines. Congratulations to Team Horse King for winning the qualifiers. Huge cheers rang out. Lu Yenran almost flew up. The team of Horse King fans with an outbreak of violent shouts. Even the whole arena fell into a carnival. Lu Hong looked at the screen with a smile on her face. That man was a miracle. Lao Tzu's vision is good. The selection competition is officially over. The first place Horse King team did not have a second place. There is no third either. This tryout, it's over without even the dead. But all the fans who bought tickets to close the game, no one will feel at a loss. It is Lu Yenran. His throat was saved, though, but the scriptures are constantly sinking. The day after the competition, King Ma once again dominated the esports headlines. Is also, as Li Yuyang expected, King Ma Dong won the victory with an invincible attitude. Even the entire clan became famous. A large number of war bands began to analyze the members of the Horse King team. But no matter how much they looked, I couldn't find any information about Dirt Cat 3 either, because they were really newcomers in the first place. There are even more bloggers, at a precise angle, analyzing every step of the Horse King's operation, seemingly casually swung fists. In fact, it is all precisely calculated. From the beginning to the end, the King of Horses punched a total of 2 punches. If one should be in the hole, it's just that the King of Horses is lucky. Maybe a fool wouldn't believe it. Anyway, the first round of trials has ended. King Ma also successfully qualified for the league. Ruo clenched his fists excitedly. It was so wise to quit T1 in the first place. This version still belongs to the King of Horses. Perhaps no one would have imagined the strong appearance of the King of Horses. The most unlucky one turned out to be Lu Yenran. In addition to going to work, he also has to process hundreds of membership applications. Every day, there are a large number of fans who have applied to join the King of Horses Support Association. This amount has already made Lu Yin. I felt physically and mentally tired. Xiao Nizi kept smiling on the corner of her mouth. After all, it is physically tiring to do things for one's idol. Hardworking. The two left the venue with a smile and a smile. Since it's still early, why don't we go to a cafe together? Just sat down. Yuyang. I couldn't help but ask the person who was most interested. Do you know a lot about Ma Dongsheng? Hear this. Lu Yinran was directly stunned in place. It's a demonic name, appeared in Lu Yinran's mind. Every time I think of this man, Lu Yinran, they all remember that night many years ago. In fact, Lu Yinran's father and Ma Dongsheng had a small incident. Together, they are from ordinary people to small achievements. However, the unexpected happened. My father was imprisoned for 2.5 years because he was framed. During this time, the three of them have been boarding there, Ma Dongsheng's home. The man was nice to them at first, but 2.5 years later, my father was released from prison. Everything has changed, probably not being able to adapt to this new world. There may also be other reasons. The father committed suicide, and he died in a miserable way. So, only then will they suspect that Ma Dongsheng is the murderer behind the scenes. Lu Yinran never said these words to anyone else. I don't know why. He will have a very stable feeling when facing the King of Horses. After listening to Lu Yinran's narration, Li Yuyang fell silent. He was comparing it with the memories of his previous life. Lu Yinran. It is likely that Ma Dongsheng did his father's death. The man there is simply the embodiment of the devil. Whether it is to destroy the electrical industry, or set up a casino, and so on, there is nothing that Ma Dongsheng does not dare to do. Now that the approximate timeline has been determined, Li Yuyang can completely predict it. All the action of this old guy. Meanwhile, a man is holding a mobile phone to watch Ma Dongwang's election. Pull the race. See the wonderful performance of the King of Horses. He trembled with rage. This man's real name is Ma Tao. Game ID Ma Dongye. Except for the Most High God. In fact, a few years of gaming career. He has only one game name. That is, the King of Ma Dong is the King of the Pony, and the King of the Pony meets the King of Horses. Who is the real king of competition? Little Gaga's face stared at the game screen with a hideous face. The guy who took his ID. I actually got the league ticket again. Even Ma Tao. In Li Yuyang's previous life, he was also very famous. This guy is known as a hippopotamus day after day and is called a double horse. Its three scoundrels are axes, moves, and difficult fighting styles. Ma Tao once won 2 league championships. However, this kid is in good interest, bewitched by the Red Moon Group, chose to take money to play match fixing, directly buried his career. The Horse King suit and fighting style used by Li Yuyang. It's almost an exact copy. It's killing masks and a lot. The addition of rare materials makes the value of the King of Horses slightly higher. After all, the best record of the former King of Horses. That's 7 kills and 2 assists. And Li Yuyang in this life is 27 kills and 0 assists. Later in the Cataclysm version, though, Ma Tao's fighting style is still the same. As a result, the combat power has decreased a lot. Open the gap with Ma Ritian. This is also his self-defeating. One of the reasons for match fixing. Ma Tao in this life has not yet started his career. But he is also good in the live broadcast industry. Wind and water. He was also dubbed the Pony King by fans. That's when the phone rang. Ma Tao picked it up directly, and the person opposite. It was the staff of the Red Moon Group. Mr. Ma Dongye, I've seen videos of your battles. I think you have a lot of potential. Would you like to become a professional player? The gears of fate turned again. Li Yuyang. Although it is not clear when the specific fortune of the King of Horses. But he knows how to become stronger. So Ma Riting and Ma Dongwang. It is still the representative of the double horse of this era. It's just that King Ma has changed his surname to Li. Inside the Red Moon Club, after learning the results of the tryouts, Ma Dongxing's anger has reached the extreme. Among the 10 teams that participated, there are 3 that they have invested in. However, the one who won the championship, it turned out to be the self-run club. Ma Dong Wang Lao Tzu's money was spent on the dogs. You're all fucking shit. Lao Tzu's daughter and son are lost, and you can't find them. Now you can't even win a broken game. Although the main business category of the Red Moon Group at present, the game industry is changing. But as the person in charge of the Red Moon, what Ma Dongxing hates most is playing games. He couldn't even understand the fun. Finally, I'll give you 2 days. Find someone who can defeat King Ma Dong, and found Lu Yanran and Lu Hong. Otherwise, go to Africa and mine. For weeks is a flash, because I won the first place in the selection competition. Team Horse King was given the right to skip the knockout round. And because a month ago, the Horse King's dominance performance leads to an entire esports tournament. The popularity is up a notch. More and more people are starting to pay attention to the progress of the league. The good news is that there is a game today. The bad news is that the Horse King team may not be in the fight. The fans were all disappointed. They want to see King Ma Dong's great might. In designated hotels, several, the pros are showing tomorrow's match. They are members of the MS team. It's also the Mad Dogs team that once almost beat T1. After the reorganization, it was renamed MS. Right now, a girl silently walked back to her room. Jean Needle Embroidery did not participate in the regular meeting of the War Brigade. She likes to be alone in the Dark Knight dungeon. The gold needle embroidery was calculated by Yin Jing. Died at the hands of the Confucian. This guy has been holding his breath in his heart. I heard that Ian Jean will also participate in the tryouts. So the Golden Needle show is ready to go all out. Give that little bitch a hard slap in the face. I thought I was teaming up with Jodia. There will be no opponent in this high god. After all, both of them are closed beta players. If understood, then the game, or no one can be above them. However, there was an outlier of the old bird. That guy is simply the mastermind's own son. No matter how stealthy dungeons and quests, that kid can always find it first. The old bird is certainly a nuisance, but the gold needle embroidery is still the same. Didn't see him as a real opponent. Professional gamers and folks, there is still a big difference between the players. As long as the old bird doesn't join the team, then it's just a grab between them. Opponents who grab quest resources. That's it. So this time the Golden Needle needs to be dealt with by all means. It's the King of Horses who shined a month ago. The team at the same time. In another room of the hotel, the 2 little quacks are plotting something. One of them, Little Quack, is a programmer of the Most High God. The information he held in his hand. It's the internal data of all the contestants. Just get this thing. There are no secrets to the players. Right now, the door was pushed open. An unexpected man strode in. Hello. Please allow me to introduce. I'm the team manager of Team Horseman. Our boss would like to ask you to stay for free. I don't know if you're interested. Looking at the man's and Sue's expressions, Little Gaga's insults were even louder. Lu Hong suddenly came up. Don't be in such a hurry to refuse. Otherwise, I don't know. Can you control your temper? Rest assured, as long as you are obedient, I promise you'll see the sun the next day. The Horse King team became famous in a fight. Your uncle is still your uncle. There are still 7 hours left until the second tryout. Because of the Horse King's one-man battle royale, the second and third places were not decided. 2 teams will be selected for this tryout, only to win the top 2, to get the last 2 league tickets. So the other teams are already there, especially the Red Moon Group. Invested so much. If you don't even get into the Asian Cup, where is Ma Dongxing's old face going? Meanwhile, inside the King of Horses Club, beads of sweat are running down his arms. Maritian exale devili. Same with the old birds. in order to maintain the best possible condition for the competition. Mari Tian, I also insist on exercising for 2.5 hours every day. Right now, I'm Ying Han In, although it's been a month, but Jing still couldn't figure it out. How to play a professional game. Forget about the tryouts. Yuyang can handle everything alone. If to the real Asian Cup, am I going to be the team's oil bottle? Hear this. Maritian showed a smile, since this is the case. Let's have a review. I'm here to help you find your brightest spots. Time goes back to the beginning of the game. Battle Royale mode. Jing was randomly placed in a corner of the map. As soon as he hit the ground, he heard a violent explosion. It was as if someone was fighting nearby, just when Jing wanted to check the location of his teammates. He also thought of the incident that Li Yuyang confessed. Find a place to hide when you land. Don't get into head-on conflict with other people. So Jing didn't move. Right now, the ground shook suddenly. A loud noise came from behind. It sounds like the sound of a heavy object falling to the ground. Jing is not light. I knew it was my own captain's movement, so he still made a wrong choice. That is, close to the point of explosion. Just ran 2 steps. Jing met opponents from other teams. The other party is also a girl. Appears to be a player of the Dragons. Jing hurriedly said hello. I'm Jing of the Horse King team. Nice to meet you. This action completely confused Xiao Quack. But it's because of the language barrier. Little Gaga, who didn't know what Jing was talking about. However, the next second, he remembered the selection he had seen before the game. Hand information. It turned out that this girl was a member of the Horse King team, and, judging by the information, this was Jing's first professional match. Xiao Gaga, who smiled faintly, had met it. Then let's fight. Although I couldn't understand what the other person was saying. But I saw the smiling face of Little Quack. As soon as it was quiet, he immediately relaxed his vigilance. It turns out that the other party is also a very kind player. But the voice did not fall. Little Quack exerted his strength violently. Common air piercing. Towards Jing. Jing didn't have time to react at all. He could only open his mouth wide and freeze in place. See this scene? Little Quack's heart finally let go. Sure enough, it's a rookie. It's full of flaws. At the last moment, Jing's eyes became more and more condensed. In his field of vision, all the details of the other party were revealed. The common is not yet falling. Jing had already identified common weaknesses. There was a loud bang. The fist collides directly with the tip of the sword. Jing has extremely terrifying computing powers. Hit the weak point of the longsword head-on. There was a crunch click. The sword was broken in an instant. Jing was shocked and quickly apologized. I didn't know your sword was so fragile. Do you want me to fix it for you? The battle between the two did not continue, because an even more violent explosion sounded. As if realizing something, Jing turned around and ran away. Sorry. I have more important things to do. It was in the puzzled gaze of Xiao Gada. Jing finally came to an empty position. Meanwhile, the iron box was still flying in midair. It was in Jing's expectant gaze. The iron box is smashed directly in the center of the map. The sound of an end to the game also sounded over the map. This scene remained in Jing's heart forever. Li Yuyang really did it. Then the audience cheered. The commentary also became stuttering. The team logo of the King of Horses team shines over the stadium. All the club members also became the focus of the audience. This is Jing for the whole time. The whole process of the tryouts. After listening, Maritian couldn't help but leave a drop of cold sweat on his cheeks. Remembering Jing's performance in the dungeon, Maritian felt that with Jing's talent, just use that computing power, he can definitely become the female version of the Horse King. You have to believe in your fists and acting skills. As long as you can do it quickly, accurately, and ruthlessly, I don't think even I am your match. It is different from the relaxed atmosphere of the King of Horses Club. Inside the office of Chairman Hongyue, A solemn atmosphere is gradually permeating. A sneer hung on the corner of Ma Dongxing's mouth. You stumbled over Lao Tzu in the tryouts. Now I can't even get the information of the players. Do you really think Lao Tzu is very good at talking? Red Moon wants to eat the cake of the summer solstice god. Keeping track of the league is the first step. The second tryout. It will be held at 2:30 p.m. But the whole night passed. You meow to Lao Tzu. The inner line of the supreme god is missing. Ma Dong walked in front of Xiao Gada with a calm face. Bang! The leather shoe kicked Little Quack's leg. As for resources, Lao Tzu gives you resources. To invest Lao Tzu to invest in you. You can't even beat a new team. If you don't get the first place in the second tryout, you all get out of here to the African branch. The reason why Ma Dongxing cares so much about grades, in addition to the fact that the esports industry is becoming more and more popular, there is also an extremely important reason. Red Moon has just acquired a game pod manufacturing company. If the gaming equipment manufacturer invests in the clan, I can't even get a place in the league. What else do I do to make money? A manufacturer of gaming equipment, and led the development of a number of large-scale AAA games. Such a large company. I couldn't even win the league championship. Ma Dongxing's anger has reached its extreme. If Naoji can't defeat the Horse King team, I don't mind using some very excessive means. The knockout round will be at 2 p.m. This contest is held halfway. The number 2 and number 3 seeds in the Asian Cup will be decided. Asian Cup League. Each nation can send 3 teams to participate. In addition to the Horse King team that has entered the line steadily. The rest of the teams are already in the midst of intense pre-war battles. Prepare the Horse King in the studio. A special live broadcast room. Li Yuyang was busy packing up the live broadcast equipment. This time, he will be the king of horses. Explain this year's selection competition with Ian Jing. Although Li Yuyang is just a bystander. But the heat of the rub should not be less at all. The facilities in the King Club building are very complete. Whether it's a live broadcast room or a game pod, or a lounge. The restaurant also has a gym and a cinema. So to speak, King of Horses. The club may not be the richest, but it's the most comfortable club. The old bird is also the one that is the most good. One of the club owners of the heart. Under the arrangement of Royu. The news that the Horse King will be broadcast live at the club already walked out in advance. A lot of viewers who didn't get tickets, or fans of the Horse King team, all came to the King of Horses Club building. They can enjoy it to their heart's content. Subject to a variety of devices. Only one annual pass of 2,998 is required. You can get in touch with idols up close. Who can refuse this temptation? And in order to give back to new and old fans, as long as the attention time is more than half a year, 20% off. I have to say that Ryu's ability to circle money is wrong. It's still a lot of spoiling fans. The game hasn't started yet. Li Yuyang has already turned a wave fiercely. Thousands of people have applied for cards. Made Li Yuyang annoyed. Looks like I still underestimate the spending power of my fans. The game is about to begin. Li Yuyang puts on a mask. Started a day of professional live broadcast work. The ET1 and BAS teams entered first. The players to watch from these two teams are Team ET1's Ma Dongye, Daixin, a show worshipper warrior who wields dual swords. Wizard of Vicarious People, Wang Jufeng, the Lizardman shooter of the BAS team, and the Lizardman wizard Wang Kai. In Li Yuyang's eyes, only these 4 people still have something to see. Guitar Quack is just a supporting role. The selection competition was a 5-5 team battle. You can earn 1 point for each duel you win. There are 9 clubs in total. Each club has to play 8 games. The 2 teams with the highest number of points can advance. Actually, in the gaming community, a vote for the team power rankings has already been initiated. Except for the Horse King team. ET1 represents the Half-Orc team, and the Lizardmen team represented by BAS. It's the 2 teams with the best chance of winning the championship. Now, the opening scene is a duel between the second and third seeds. In an instant, the entire gymnasium was set on fire. Maybe Li Yuyang himself doesn't know. That so-called authoritative prediction table. The Horse King team is actually only in second place. Ensemble place team. Second place Horse King team. Third BAS team. And the ET1 team. The reason why I was able to win so many votes, it's because all of their team members are ruthless. Although there is no such spirit as the King of Horses. Dustless guys. However, the average of their team is extremely high. There are almost no shortcomings. So in a group war, or EV1 event, ET has a high win rate. Listen to the cheers coming from the screen. Li Yuyang looked dismissive. Because of his gaze, the focus was on another place. The woman called the golden needle embroidery. It is also a block encountered in the Dark Knight dungeon. One of the passers-by. That guy is weird. He's the same as Jodia. Are all people that Li Yuyang is afraid of. Maybe MS will become the biggest dark horse in this selection competition. Li Yuyang. The expression also attracted the attention of the family members in the live broadcast room. Excuse me, King Ma. Which team do you think will win the first match? Li Yuyang pretended to be silent. Then he pressed the treasure to the gold needle embroidery. I'm betting on Ms. to take the second seed. ET1 took the third seed. This prediction is different from most people's. No one is optimistic about Ms. as a rebuilding team. No one would think that ET1 could beat BAS. But only Li Yuyang understands. The guy named Ma Dongye. That is, the king of Ma Dong in the previous life. There must have been 2 brushes too. All the players are in place. The competition has officially begun. In a closed island, 10 players entered at the same time. 5:5 melee is all about tactics and coordination. I heard that the original personnel of the ET team did not have Ma Dongye. He was brought in temporarily, because Ma Dongye performed very well in qualifying. So it was closed and activated by the ET1 club. But this kind of one can get a starting position as soon as he comes. There must be insufficient combat power. There was a loud bang of the wind. The battle between the 2 sides has begun. Horse King aside, this battle is a battle of races. Lizardmen and orcs. Which race is the darling of the version? Let's wait and see. Meanwhile, in front of the entrance of the gymnasium, K1 player Lee Gunho, smiling and watching the game on the screen. Because of contract issues, Lee Gunho has not yet reached the transfer period. So, he can only continue to stay in the K1 team, which has no future. And Lee Gunho doesn't want to switch to other races at all. So he didn't even have to play training matches. Directly sat on the cold bench. There is still half a year waiting for me. King Ma Dong's double knives cut through the air. However, the horse Fuba managed to join up with a teammate. However, they did not continue to look for teammates. Instead, they went straight to the other 3 of them. 2 against 3. Horse Winter leaves to choose. Choose the path of King Men. The horse watched everyone succumb to this scene. Attack your opponent like lightning. On the body of this little quack. The audience saw the shadow of King Ma Dong. Seeing that the audience of knowledge ET1 is increasing, the commentary couldn't help but cheer. Over the mountain. The real king of horses is waiting for you to climb over the mountain. You'll see a better view. A strong performance by Pony King. It immediately attracted a large number of fans. A lot of people are looking forward to it. The moment when he confronted the king of horses head-on. Ma Dongye is too strong. Is this the gold content of Pony King? Is Ma Dongwang a well-known drug owner? See this scene? Ruiyu's expression also became serious. Ma Dongye was born. It did put some pressure on the team coach. But think of those 3 novice players. Ru smiled with relief. In the eyes of outsiders, the Horse King team is a double horse supporting the facade. Only if with clear which 3. Look at 4 lesser-known novice players. It's the killer base of the Horse King team. Because of the bright performance of the Pony King, ET1 managed to get their first win in the tryouts. Plants begin to grow wildly. The MS versus RTS match has begun. On this densely vegetated island, Gold Needlework occupies absolute geography. He strolled around. Take the magic of plants to the extreme. RTS people are even ordinary moves. It is possible to step on plant traps. The bell rang loudly. The flames quickly dispersed. The ultra-wide area skill is launched with a stern bow and arrow. The lizardman's archers were the first to strike. Large swaths of plants were burned to the ground. The sound of crackling resounded throughout the audience. During the Mad Dog Sentai period, the Horse King Battle Bible Jinshio also uses fire skills. So this botanical magician, the weakness is already obvious. It's up to the gold needle embroidery to deal with the bombardment of flames. Feet move quickly. The gold needle embroidery shows an extremely sensitive body style. Wide area of flame coverage. I couldn't even face the air. Every skill will have a vacuum. Gold needlework is waiting patiently. Suddenly, a golden light flickered. A brilliant red shield blocked the rain of flames and swords. The next second counterattack came. Countless plants are overwhelming. In the case of a complete lack of response from the lizardmen, G Needle Embroidery took the lead in completing the single kill, eliminated one of the opposing players. RTS is also one of the teams invested by Red Moon. At first, they didn't care about the human race group, the MS team. After all, the weakness of MS's ace player is too obvious. Just use fire attacks to easily win the victory. However, what they didn't expect was that the progress of gold needlework is so great. A magician is even more agile than an archer. And this woman's pace is too weird. Normal skills simply can't hit accurately. RTS versus MS. All 4 matches on the first day of MS's certification were over. Everything is heading towards Li Yuyang, the expected outcome of the development. So the next game, he wasn't interested in watching it at all. However, Li Yuyang may not have thought of it himself. The score of the match predicted yesterday in the live broadcast room. It's so accurate. He forgot to buy some peripherals. Otherwise, you'll have to make a lot of money. MS finished first with 7 points. ET finished second with 6 points. But Ma Dongxing's next operation, it really shocked Li Yuyang. Esports association companies. A voting system was held in the evening, because the victory of the Horse King team is controversial. So, why not run in overtime? To reselect the seeding of the 3 teams. Not surprisingly, the number of people who supported overtime win with a crushing number of votes. Each country in the Asian Cup League, you can send 3 teams. Teams are divided into number 1. The number 2 and number 3 seeds are ranked differently. The benefits and privileges enjoyed are different. That's why the Red Moon is renewed. One of the reasons for choosing the seed rankings. After listening to Ryu's analysis, Li Yuyang showed a kind smile. That old thing is messing around again. Since you want to play, Lao Tzu will play with you to the end. Although he has never met Ma Dongxing. But for that unscrupulous old thing, Li Yuyang knows it well. Even if it's not pouting, I know what you're going to. The tryouts are so hot. Such a good opportunity to make money. How could Ma Dongxing give up? That's why he tried his best. Let the team fight again. In the top 3, there is only one team invested by Red Moon. That's ET1, where Ma Dongye is located. ET1 only secured the 3rd seed. Obviously, Ma Dongxing can't accept it. There is also a hidden reason for this. That's Ms. and all the members of the Horse King team. It is not the same as the version promoted by the Supreme God. So, some people want to engage in means. It's also quite normal. And the venue of this competition, it was located in a city hundreds of miles away. Ryu wants to lead the team personally, still going to a strange city to participate in the competition. Ryu is very clear about the temper of the King of Horses. Although only the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seeds are excluded, You will not lose your qualification to participate in the league. But the temper of King Emiton. How could it be possible to give in? Lao Tzu wants everyone to understand. It's the same how many times you play. There are only two kinds of players in this world. That's the king of horses and the others. In overtime, EV English transmission mode was selected. The winner can choose to continue the battle. The author switches teammates. The first battle royale had an audience of 150,000 people. The audience for the second selection event reached 200,000. And this overtime was due to the advanced publicity, plus the effect of the king of horses. The number of ticket buyers has reached 300,000. There are even scalpers who have started scalping up tickets for tournaments. The King of Horses Club is full of worries. The game will start the day after tomorrow. You say, the old guy. Could it be that you are secretly designing it? Li Yuyang pondered for a moment. ET has already gotten the tickets. Ma Dongxing's goal has been achieved. Even if it's a big move, they're only going to do it in the league too. As for tomorrow night, not a big problem. Hear these words. Wakayu also fell into deep thought. Are you sure? Do you want to arrange it in advance? Li Yuyang pursed his lips helplessly. The image of Ma Dongxing reappeared in his mind. In addition to the game's site. That's what the old stuff can do. Maybe that's all there is to it. The old bird couldn't have imagined anything. There would be people who questioned the strength of the Horse King. Inside the metro station, the MS team has begun to assemble. The kind coach of the team greeted everyone with a smile. Except for that unsociable Golden Needle show. Everyone else has arrived. It was the first time for several people to come to the city. They walked down the street in a happy mood. Let's talk about the Asian Cup League. It seems that it will be held in this city as well. We can familiarize ourselves with some of the terrain in advance. By the way, get used to the water and soil of the city. A few people walked and talked. Relax for the battle ahead. It's just a matter of competing for a ranking order. Even if it's a loss, you can still participate in the Asian Cup. And they didn't even think about taking number one. The location of the seed. After all, there is still a king of Ma Dong in front of him. Soon the Ms. team arrived at the hotel they had booked. But what broke the coach was that the front desk even excused the room as full. A few people were denied check-in. Didn't we book in advance? How can there be no room? Unexpectedly, the front desk didn't hit at all. Admit mistakes. We will reimburse you for your room rate. Sorry, sir. Seeing that the coach is going to continue to quarrel with the front desk, I want to dissuade the original Taiwan Shugong. A little dada suddenly walked behind him. Come with me, brother. I know which hotel has a room. Because there is going to be a big competition. A massive influx of people. This has led to an increase in the price of hotels and various facilities in the city. It's something that can't be helped. A few people turn around 3 or 4 hotels. Still didn't disturb the spare room. Members of the MS team can only rest in the lobby of the hotel. It was getting dark. Xiao Gaga, who was still on the phone to contact acquaintances. The coach has lost patience. I found so many hotels, and there were no rooms. And they had already booked a hotel a week in advance. However, the hotel informed the night before the game that there were no rooms. If it's not boring, I don't believe meow. Just when a few people were sitting on the streets, the coach suddenly remembered a place. There might be a place to live. In front of a dilapidated building. The dimly lit staircase fills the air of a horror movie. Several people looked up helplessly. If there is a second option, Lao Tzu would definitely not live in this place. The 2 male team members smiled helplessly. At least there is a place to lie down. We'll be able to go back right after the game. Case. The coach has to go to the front desk to pay the money when he raises his leg. However, the next second, suddenly, there was a loud roar outside the door. Long live the King of Horses. The King of Horses will win. Immediately after that, a banner appeared in front of everyone. A large group of small quacks raised their fists. Shouting the name of the King of Horses, he meowed. A fan of King Horse is no longer divided into all ages. Could it be that all this is behind the scenes of the King of Horses team? The ghosts shouldn't be. Why do they do this? Clan members. Non-compliance can be seen at a glance. The group was all men, and there are tattoos on the arms. It's not like King Ma's fan group at all. It is absolutely impossible to be a supporter of the King of Horses. Right now, the group of little quacks came over suddenly. Look at what I'm doing. Is it deliberately finding fault? After saying that Xiao Gaga, he was wrong, and he came up to see what it looked like. He wanted to do it directly. The male team member hurriedly put on a posture and meowed. Really, when we are soft persimmons. The fat palm is raised high. Little Quack shouted insults. He slapped towards the coach and the female players. Just when the slap was about to fall, the male team members have already rushed over. Fists raised. The contradiction escalated immediately. If it really fights, everyone had to be detained. But the next second, Little Quack's fat palm actually stopped in midair. Can't shake it off. You're a meow and a nosy. Beware of Lao Tzu beating you. Suddenly, Xiao Quack's blood pressure soared. He froze in place as if he had seen a ghost in 100 days. Look at your worthless appearance. Is Lao Tzu ugly? It was Lu Hong, the professional manager of the Manga team, who spoke. Fingers slammed into each other. Little Quack's fat hand was directly constricted. A feeling of pain quickly surged up to the heavenly spirit guy. Xiao Quack knelt directly on the ground in pain. The screams instantly resounded throughout the audience. Shut your mouth and fuck off. Otherwise, Lao Tzu will waste one of your arms. At this time, where did Xiao Gaga dare to resist? He could only do his best not to make a sound. By the way, what do you guys say? Don't continue to mess around. Looked at Lu Hong's fierce gaze. A few little Graddocs were disgraced. Walk in the distance. How dare they confront the real bigwigs? Turning his head, Lu Hong immediately changed his head. Hello. You're from Team MS, right? The coach's face was confused. How did you know about us? Lu Hong is smiling. My name is Lu Hong. You're on the pro team. Manager, you can come with me with confidence. In the surprised eyes of several people, they saw the MPV parked at the intersection. By the way, my boss's name is Ma Dongwang. You've probably heard of it too. Just when the overtime announcement appeared, Li Yuyang expected Ma Dongxing's little trick. Although there are reasons to make more while it's hot, but with the urine nature of the Red Moon. But all competitions, they're going to cause little trouble for their opponents. So Li Yuyang not only checked into the hotel a day early, also helped Ms. book a few more rooms, although it will cost a little more to do so. And even if Ms. can't participate in the competition, it is also impossible for Tag to get the #1 seed. But Li Yuyang is willing, not for anything else. It's also a good thing to add more bets to Ma Dongxing, a guy with no competitive spirit. How dirty can it be? In order to get the ET1 of Red Moon investment, higher seed sorting, Ma Dongxing actually played an overtime game. And that's not all. This group of dogs also wants to do things offline, so that the guitar team can't rest in peace. Fortunately, Li Yuyang was prepared. Lu Hong was sent in advance to take over the MS team. In the hotel, Li Yuyang received a call from Lu Hong. The owner has already arranged it. All of them are on the 6th floor. The door opened. In the astonished gaze of all, the owner of the King of Horses Club made his debut. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. I am the owner of the King of Horses Club. Is also a player Ma Dongwang. As a former adversary, you've probably heard of me. The little fat coach hurriedly stepped forward. Hello, King Ma. What the hell is going on? What's going on with those little gangsters? And in the opinion of the members of the MS team, everyone is a competitor. Why help us for no reason? The King of Horses did not explain what he said. I just want a relatively fair playing ring. In the arena, we are the enemy. But in reality, we're all esports people. He is also a comrade in arms who maintains order. Believe it or not, that's all my intention. You don't have to be too burdened. Right now, don't pay attention to the sound of rain. They're just too nervous. After all, Tomorrow will be the enemy of the Horse King team. In the surprised gaze of the little fat man, Yu smiled and said hello. They are actually old acquaintances. During K1, Ryu already knew the little fat man. King Ma immediately returned the credit to Ryu. Our coach said we couldn't let our old friends suffer. That's why I chose to help you tonight. Listen to the purple words. The corners of Ryu's mouth lifted slightly. Did this kid have honey on his mouth? Why is it so nice to speak? However, the little fat man was even more moved. I can't believe you care so much about our friendship. Eyes too. The coaches of each team are going to have subdistance contact. Of course, the players didn't have a good idea to say anything. By the way, pay attention to other small means. For example, laxatives in water. Put the network cable or something. You have to be careful in tomorrow's game. That guy in order to win. But everything can be done. So, I want you to join me. Rebel against those who are unfair. Who dares to break the electronic taboo and return the gas? It's against me. Comfortable double bed. Quiet meeting room. In order to ensure that no one is disturbed. King Ma Dong hugged directly. Went down to the 4th, 5th, and 6th floors of the entire hotel. So they can get a good night's sleep tonight. Remember the simple appearance of Ma Wang's refusal to be paid by the coach. The 3 girls couldn't help but sigh. Become a pro. We're too bad. As for the other 2 male members, it has long been on board the game pod. I didn't expect that King Ma's figure was quite good. Li Jing lay on the bed with her face flushed. He was so good to us. Could it be for some other purpose? For example, unspoken rules and the like. Speaking of which, Li Yinfu fell silent. He looked for Li Yuyang alone, and thanked for what had happened before. Of course, Li Yuyang had no other thoughts. As said before, I just want to make the game fairer. Li Jinyu couldn't help but inquire about the things behind the scenes. Who the hell got those little thugs? In the world of hotels, Li Yuyang did not choose to say it explicitly. Just let Li Qiwu live here with peace of mind. Hear these words. Li Jingyu whispered embarrassedly. If the other party's status is high, I think I can help you, because my father might be able to speak. Hear, hear. Li Yuyang fell silent. His ultimate goal tonight, it is to win the goodwill of the 3 sisters. In a previous life, in order to take the civil service exam, all 3 withdrew from the professional league. And in this life, the 3 sisters are still playing. This is Li Yuyang's chance. If Ma Dongsheng dare to apply those small movements to the 3 sisters. So, the parents of the 3 sisters will never do anything. If you really want to know what's going on behind the scenes, wait until I gather the evidence. We'll be in touch with you again, early the next morning. There are still 2 hours left until the seeding battle. The staff has already entered early. The narrator looked at the tablet in his hand in surprise. Why did the order in which the teams were introduced changed? Xiao Gaga hurriedly explained. That's what leadership means. Please follow the latest order. Generally speaking, the top of the list will be introduced at the end. The Horse King team is clearly the strongest. The previous arrangement was that the Horse King team was the last to appear. However, if according to the new order, ET1 will be sent last, just when the commentary is about to make sense. Little Quack suddenly whispered, said, this was arranged by Ma Dongsheng, vice chairman of the competition committee. As the labor of the Red Moon Group, Ma Dongsheng, growing influence on the esports industry. Therefore, the explanation did not dare to disobey the meaning of the leader. After all, he's just a small clerk. At the same time, the 2nd floor of the gymnasium, Ma Dongsheng silently looked at the staff downstairs. This competition is fully funded by him, to be held, in order to create a higher prestige for ET. But everything that was done was arranged. The MS team suddenly disappeared, so Ma Dongsheng was in a very bad mood. I hope that Ms. and the Horse King team can get to know each other, since it is not destined to be the protagonist. Why do you want to talk about the role of the protagonist? Achieved the first place in the Orc leaderboard in the version of Orc Supremacy. Is this the gold content of Pony King? In the cheers of the audience. The first to enter the arena are the members of the MS team. The predecessor of Team MS was Team Eric. I used to compete with the K1 team, although in the end he lost to the King of Horses. But gold, silver, and bronze. The three sisters still left a deep impression on the audience, especially the tacit cooperation of the three sisters. It has reached a point where others can't reach it. Plus the third-ranked warrior player and the captain of the meat shield. This is definitely a strong team with the quality to win the championship. Just when the commentary passion is introduced, Little Quack ran into the commentary room again. After turning off the microphone, the staff whispered in his ear. After listening to the temporary commentary, suddenly froze in place. It turns out that you can still play like this. The narrator reconfirmed with a puzzled face. Are they really going to do it? Because it was written on the note. The team will be waiving the pre-match interactive session. It's a great time to gain fans and increase exposure. But the Ma Wong team just gave up the explanation. Although I don't understand it. But he still began to announce lightly. In order to give newcomers more opportunities to show, Team Horse will not be participating in the pre-race show. They are just like you now. I am watching from the auditorium. As soon as this remark came out, the smile on Ma Dongxing's face gradually disappeared. In order to make the Horse King team a stepping stone, Ma Dongxing deliberately adjusted the order of appearance. Unexpectedly, that kid gave up the opportunity to appear. Could it be that they have already prejudged my plan? Meanwhile, Dirk Cat and Ian Jing were looking at the stage with smiles on their faces. There are also Maritian and Lu Shiel. They are like real spectators. Unobtrusive. It's also the first time I've encountered this kind of thing. Although the approach of the King of Horses is indeed strange, but I think it's pretty cool. As soon as the words fell, Ma Duoxing's brow furrowed. Damn, the guy can't talk and shut up. The opening ceremony officially began. The stage began to shimmer. The atmosphere of the stadium was also mobilized. In the VIP private room, the little quacks were holding wine glasses with smiles on their faces. That Horse King team is quite familiar. Knowing that this overtime is not their home stadium, this makes it easier to advertise the 1t1 team. As everyone knows, Ma Dongxing has insight into Li Yuyang's intentions. If they don't go on stage at all, then there is no concept of sequential suppression and finale. The last row of the auditorium, Li Yuyang and Coach Ruayu were also watching silently and staring at the opening ceremony. This overtime is really redundant. We've already got our first seed. But he can only be forced to continue to participate in this meaningless competition. Hear this. Li Yuyang didn't say much. Memories of past lives are not needed. He could also guess Ma Dongxing's intentions. An old guy who can't get on the stage. No matter how many games there are, Red Moon will never be able to control the situation easily. Ruayu was even more worried. He is not afraid of domestic competitions. It's about worrying about the future of the Asian Cup. If you meet that 1t1 team in a match, I don't know what method Ma Dongxing will use to deal with them. Right now, Tong Yu saw Ein Jing in the audience. The moment when the two met their eyes, Ian Jing immediately recalled the tryouts. It turns out that the lizard man I met before was Tong Yu of the MS team. The battle intent on his face was even stronger. The last time the team was too short. We'll be able to play a little more this time. Violent nurses are really funny. The MS team has ended. Next up are the T1 team members. The lights of the stage became even more sparkling. The treatment of belonging to the C-rank team alone fell on the head of this teenager. Ma Dongye, a member of the 1t1 team, popularly known as the Pony King. It is also the only existence that has the potential to defeat King Ma Dong. There was a hint of a smile on Ma Dongye's face. In just a few months, he was held to a very high position by the Red Moon. Ruayu also saw Ma Dongye himself for the first time. I heard that this kid is quite virtuous. If encountered, you've got to be careful. But Li Yuyang was not surprised at all. In the memories of a past life, Ma Dongya often appears in the headlines of the game sector. This kid is really not simple. Ma Ritian's eyes in the audience suddenly turned cold. His fists clenched unconsciously. Horse. The times will always belong to me and King Ma Dong. You will never be able to take my place. Li Yuyang is very clear. Ma Ritian and Ma Dongyi in the previous life. It is indeed two professional players of equal strength. And in terms of fighting style, perhaps Ma Dongya's popularity. Maybe it's more than Ma Ritian. The opening ceremony ended. Next up is the official competition. The first game of the MS is against the T1 Asian Cup League. This is where the seeding rounds begin. The first battle of the 1T1 team is a botanical mage. Illuminated by a golden glow, countless plants began to awaken, and he faced Li Tongyu of the MS team. Coincidentally, both of them are mage professions. But in terms of attributes, Li Tongyu may be better. Huge flames rose into the sky. A blazing breath swept through the venue. Plants are afraid of flames. This is a well-known thing. The ET1 team mage soon fell to the disadvantage. Unsurprisingly, the first MS won. The second little dada sent by ET1 is an orc shamanic class. This kid is also a summoning ability, and countless cyclops have risen from the ground. The great sword roared. Li Yingwen waved her arms rhythmically. Two giant swords are impenetrable in style. Defend against the attacks of dozens of giants. At the moment when the cyclops was shattered, Li Yingyu seized the opportunity. In the blink of an eye, he had already arrived in front of the shaman. As Li Yingyu smiled, 1T1 loses another member. It seems that the support of the big chables will not increase your strength. The moment when the golden light shone brightly, Fire Rain skill activated. Li Tongyu did not hesitate to release a wide range of skills. ET's assassin Little Quack moves quickly. As an orc assassin, Little Quack has a high agility stat. He moved across the field like a phant. The easiest way to defeat a mage is in close combat. So the purpose of Little Gagos is very clear. But in the next second, the giant sword fell from the sky. Take advantage of the moment when the fire and rain obscure the view. MS decisively opted for a substitution. Li should be forced. Instantly killed the orc assassin and AT1 down. One player is the former K1 meat shield Li Yunhao. But even if his defense is high, still unable to resist the wheel battle of the three sisters. In the end, under the attack of Li Jinyu's bow and arrow, Li Yunhao died and withdrew. Just 4 rounds. All 4 members of the ET1 team were killed. How similar this scene is to the pre-Cataclysm game. At the beginning of K1, all 4 members of the team were killed. Only King Ma Dong was left. In a trance, Li Yunhao seemed to see the familiar figure again. The audience was stunned. Judging by the second tryout, the strength of the MS team and the ET1 team should be about the same. But the wheel battle had only begun for half an hour. The 1T1 team has already lost 4 people. The guy known as the Pony King. Do you want to replicate the feat of the King of Horses? Ma Ritian's eyes widened even more. He stared at the man on the stage. The flames had just cleared. Team 1T1 Li Yingwen was killed. Now the audience was even more confused. What just happened? Why did Li Yingwen die directly? The commentary is also dumbfounded. It all happened so fast. On this day, more than 300,000 people once again witnessed the miraculous desperate situation of Xiao Lao Wang. A string of 5 Pony Kings. Is this going to reverse Tiangang? Ma Dongsheng, who had witnessed everything, finally showed a satisfied smile. Since King Ma Dong is known as the god of competition, then Lao Tzu made a god with his own hands. A god who can overthrow everything. Li Yuyang's expression also became solemn. He could guess that Ma Dongya was strong. But I didn't expect that guy to develop so well in this life. The tryouts have finally come to an end. The long-awaited king of Ma Dong and King Pony Dong. Is it finally time to go head-to-head? With the cheers of the audience. The MS Sentai team is here. This is a rising team. Led by Pony King. Will they be able to reproduce the myth of the King of Horses? And of course, the Horse King team. Is it possible for King Ma Dong's undefeated miracle to continue? Inside the VIP room, Ma Dongsheng held a wine glass, silently staring at the screen. There is no second in esports. Take the first, all you take all. Everyone knows that. So old guy, I'll tell you the truth. Capital does not determine victory or defeat. The first to appear on the MS team is a botanical magician. After all, it's 5v5 roulette. The starting position is extremely easy to restrain from, so let a mage support player come out first. It's also an extremely wise choice. And on the other side, the Horse King team sent out with the commentary's gaze. Lu Shuriwe stretched out her arm easily. Age timing didn't have any record before that. I didn't even participate in qualifying. It seems that the choice of the King of Horses is the same as that of the MS team. Seeing that Lu Shuriwe has appeared on the stage, Lu Yinran and Lu Hong's voices broke through the shackles. They were loudly refueling their sisters. Lu Shuriwe appeared like a rookie. The botanical mage couldn't bear it anymore. The old lady is just an auxiliary, not a rookie. Although not as powerful as tanks and outputs, but no matter how you look at it, it's better than this girl who hasn't grown all her hair. As everyone knows, Lu Shuriwe is also nervous. It was his first roulette game. Just the day before the game, Ma Wangli overrode the crowd. Wants Lu Shuriwe to be the pioneer of the team. At first glance, this decision sounds really reliable. After all, Lu Shuriwe has no experience in combat. The starting position is again the easiest to be restrained. So it is most appropriate to let Lu Shur come more and more. And recall Xiao Nizi's terrifying combat effectiveness. Ruoyu couldn't help laughing. Dirkcat and Einjing don't have much of an opinion. Maritian also thinks it is very reliable. As for Lu Shuriwe herself, she is still in a state of confusion. Right now, the voice of the old bird came to my ears. Remember what I said earlier. Waiting for you to become a real pro, in order to experience the fun of the game. And trust me, I'll help you become the best. Lu Shile has just recovered from his memory. The sound that made people sound reliable sounded again. No need to keep. Don't be inhibited. Prove to everyone that you are strong. Come to think of it, Lu Shuriwe's eyes couldn't help but burst into tears. Not long since. I'm just a waste in a hospital bed. It was the man who changed his fate. I don't know why. Lu Shuriwe suddenly wanted to laugh. Laugh out loud. The botanical mage couldn't wait. Hurry up and get started. I don't want to lose my reputation for bullying children. Rest assured, I'm not going to let you lose ugly. It's time to gain experience. But that's not the end of the story. A black shadow had come to the fore. Just listen to the pop. The scythe cuts through the air. The split operation officially began. Poof. Lu Shuriwe's scythe has already given the opponent a split action. This happened too suddenly. I didn't even react to the commentary. The audience even forgot to cheer. They stared blankly at the screen. Only Ma Dongye spat and foamed disdainfully. It's just a little kid. What is there to be surprised? However, in the next second, the commentators stood up excitedly. The players of the MS team were killed in seconds before they could see it clearly. What the hell is going on? And how the weapon he used had never been seen before. Look closely. The scythe held by Lu Shuriwe was shining with the light of flames. It is not an exaggeration to say that this is a hand made by grit. MS the next player will appear. The assassin Little Gagaku had just appeared. The rain of swords in prison has already fallen. Dozens of arrows made of light, densely shot towards the drain. Such a tight shooting skill. It's almost impossible to dodge by moving around. But I didn't wait for the voice of the commentary to fall. Lu Shiyu is like an elf. He and Ma Dongwang have different styles. It seems that you can predict and see in advance. Lu Shuriwe can always dodge one step ahead. Little Gagaku was stunned for a moment. This situation was something he could never have imagined. The summon skill is activated. The staff suddenly shone brightly. A huge circle appeared in midair. It's just a blink of an eye. A large number of scarecrows with scythes appeared in front of everyone. However, after seeing this summon, Li Yuyang sighed heavily. It's not good to summon something. Gotta be a scarecrow. As soon as the words fell, Lu Shuriwe has already come to the front. The death scythe wields lightly. Scarecrow's sword. It also quickly pierced over. The next second, I only heard a click. Lu Shuriwe gave up the attack. The body is like a swimming snake. Swing in front of the giant scarecrow. The scarecrow is huge. The defense is amazing. But this thing has a very obvious drawback. That's slow-motion stiffness. Step lightly on your feet. Lu Shiyu jumped into the air. Then the scythe fell from the sky. Just listen to the pop. Little Quack was torn apart in an instant. In the face of absolute explosiveness, any bells and whistles are useless. Lu Shiyu is extremely good at breaking out. But at the same time as the output exploded, Lu Shao also sacrificed some flexibility. So in order to make up for Li Yuyang, I found him a small wing that could increase his agility. With the bonus of this thing, Lu Shuriwe instantly turned into an agile output monster, plus a two-handed weapon as light as a thin wing. It has also raised Lu Shuriwe's output to a higher level. There's nothing better in this world than the Death Scythe. Grade, S-Class. Agility plus 3,500. Physical attack plus 9,900. Indestructible and Halloween perks. This is Lu Shuriwe's secret weapon. The narrator shouted excitedly. It can be seen through the replay. Lu Shuriwe is almost instantaneous, and the two professional players of the MS team are almost instantaneous. The young player showed great combat ability. Could it be that he is the Horse King team? Is it a secret weapon specially prepared for the Asian Cup? In fact, the Death Scythe is not a trophy of Raider Oz. After getting the shards left by Jack, Li Yuyang specially found someone to create a replica of the Death Sickle. Clearly, this was a wise decision. Lu Shiyuan, who got the sickle, took off on the spot. Agile brute force output with no weaknesses. Lu Shuriwe has become an existence that can wreak havoc on opponents. Next up is the weird mage of the MS team. This kid played very aggrieved in the last game against Jinyu. But as long as you encounter a restrained opponent, strange mages can exert unimaginable combat power. The game continued. Lu Shuriwe and Xiao Jie launched a charge at the same time. The scythe swept violently. Sharp blades. The body of the little quack shredded in an instant. But the next second, Lu Shao suddenly felt that something was wrong. This feel is definitely not a hit. Sure enough, little quack suddenly fell apart. The body is also moving in different directions. For a while, Lu Shuriwe had no target to attack. He can only defend his opponent's attack in place. It was not far from him. A slight rustling sound was heard. The special skill of the weird magician, the chameleon ninja. In this state, little quack doesn't just have a stealth effect. There are also powerful stat bonuses. This is a hidden skill of the lizardmen race. He is worthy of being a latecomer of the MS team. The dagger glows dangerously. Xiao Gaga is rapidly approaching Lu Shuriwe. However, the next second, the scythe swept suddenly. Just as little quack was about to deliver the fatal blow, Lu Shuriwe actually reacted in advance. If you look closely, you can find that Xiao Nizi didn't open her eyes at all. Li Yuyang couldn't have imagined it. The young players of their own team can be so strong. Xiao Quack was so frightened that he hurriedly retreated. He couldn't believe his eyes. However, this practice completely exposed him. The side slides continuously. Little Quack could only dodge in embarrassment. Thankfully, the chameleon gave him a high balance. But even so, Little Quack still looked extremely passive. He really doesn't see me as a human being. You don't even need eyes. Bang! Full fire. Xiao Gaga, who was angered by Lu Shuriwe, a newcomer, dominate the arena for so many years. It's the first time that the fourth child has seen such a crazy next blow. Lao Tzu is going to kill you in seconds. And Xiao Ga has also discovered Lu Shile's secret. As long as you stand still, can escape Lu Shiyue's keen hearing. Suddenly, the corners of Lu Shiyu's mouth lifted slightly. So it's here. In the next second, Lu Shiyue's glasses emitted a golden light. Goldmine's blood grade A+. Possesses real name and mana-burning characteristics. The skill was released too suddenly. Little Quack suddenly entered the range of mana burning. The timing was too good. Even Li Yuyang had to clench his fists. The blind will become very sensitive to hearing. This can also be seen in the Most High God. It shines as the mana burns. Little Quack's palms and body are constantly petrifying. Jing Chong unleashes a terrifying mirror. The shield appeared in front of Little Quack. This thing has both a defensive effect. It also reflects enemy attacks. Whether Wu Qinglong can feel that he can fight back depends on this time. Little Quack, bite the bullet. The gaze is already straight ahead. Lu Shiyue's image has entered the scope of Jing Dun. A mana-burning counterattack is coming. At this moment, Lu Shiyue couldn't help but recall Li Yuyang's words before the start of the game. Wu Qinglong is a rare class of lizardmen. There is no special way to deal with him. So after watching the replay, do you have any ideas? Lu Shiyue was silent for a moment. He gave his answer. That's giving up vision. Wu Qinglong, after turning on chameleon mode. Lu Shiyue quietly turned off the visual aids. Missing this feature, Lu Shile became blind again. But it's different from ordinary people. This state is very normal for Lu Shile. After all, so many years ago, he lived as a blind man. Correspondingly, there is no vision. His other senses became more sensitive. Ignores the mana burn of the mirror shield's counterattack. Lu Shile still waved the sickle in his hand accurately. The petrification effect of mana burn only works when you look at each other. So this battle was won by Lu Shiyue. The side slashed through Little Quack's body again. Powerful attack damage bonus. Lu Shiyue once again completed the second kill. See this scene? Li Yuyang couldn't help laughing. It's stupid. If the guy keeps his distance and flies a kite, there may still be a slight chance of winning. Wu Qinglong, you're too reliant on your professional skills. The 3 kills have been achieved. The newcomers to the Horse King team completed an unprecedented triple kill. The audience suddenly fell into a boil. Everyone began to cheer for the little girl. The next player on Team MS. The Thunder Tiger, known as the Ultimate Weapon. He is also an ace member of the former K1 team. The light of the bad guys flickered. Lu Shiyue also slowly returned to the rotation circle. The Horse King team also chose the bad guys in this round. As the light array continues to rotate, Ma Ritian's tough figure appeared in front of everyone. He is also a former member of the K1 team. What kind of sparks can these two players rub together? The corners of the mouth squirm rapidly. Thunder Magic appeared beside Thunder Tiger in an instant. That's what he's best at. The gloves hummed. Ma Ritian smiled faintly. I haven't seen each other for a few days. You're getting better at pretending. The right fist jerked up with a powerful force. It's condensing fast. You're a good kid too. The outfit is very decent. Small talk time ends. The battle officially began. Ma Ritian rushed out like a rocket. At the moment when the two were about to make contact, Ma Ritian's fist had already been handed out in advance. The other side, Lehu also roared. Thunder condenses in the palm of the hand. He even chose a frontal hardbar. The fist hummed. The power has been condensed to the apex. The next second, a piercing explosion rang out between the two. Scattered winds. Out of the blowing throughout the battlefield VIP private room. Ma Dongsheng smiled. Lu Yin ran. Lu Hong. Lu Shiyue. No wonder. It turns out you're all in this together. In previous battles, Lu Shiyue didn't have a brilliant performance at all. Ma Dongsheng naturally didn't pay attention to this nobody. But today's standout made Ma Dongsheng finally realize that something was wrong. Recall the debriefing of my subordinates a few days ago. Ma Dongsheng already knew who was behind the ghost. Good boy dares to go against me. I promise you won't be able to eat it. Li Yuyang walking around. I can't think of anything. When he was young, Ma Ritian turned out to be so young. At this time, he did not have any domineering spirit. Only the restraint that has just become an academy player. That is, at this very moment. Thunder Tiger, who is already a top player. The first lended a helping hand. Do you want me to be your sparring partner? So Lei, who is from Ma Ritian. It's not just teammates. It can also be counted as half a leader. Fists and fists collide head-on. Thunder and Whirlwind each occupy half of the screen. You gotten a lot stronger. It seems that it is under the command of brother Ma Dongwang. The little days were good. However, the voice just fell. Thunder Tiger's body emanated a phantom. Thunder Clone. Ma Ritian recognized this move immediately. But it's a blink of an eye. Thunder Tiger has already become 3. And the 3 of them are already surrounded. Immediately after that, the 2 clones stretched out their palms together. In an instant, thunder covered the whole field. The crackling sound was non-stop. However, Ma Ritian had already escaped from the encirclement 1 step ahead of schedule. But he was not given a chance to land at all. The ready-to-use body unleashes the lightning chains. In an instant, the power of thunder gushed out. However, Ma Ritian shook his fist violently. The gloves unexpectedly dispersed the thunder with precision. Lei, who was stunned to see this scene. You kid is really good at imitating. Have you even learned this trick of brother Ma Dongwang? 360 degrees in the air. Ma Ritian kicked down at great speed. However, Lei, who is not a vegetarian either. He dodged the attack 1 step ahead. The gaze became more and more condensed. Ma Ritian's reaction was extremely fast. The right foot slammed on the ground. Kick out with your left foot quickly. To fight a mage is to fight closely. Ma Ritian grasped this very well. Lei, who licked his tongue excitedly. Changed teams. Sure enough, it was different. The timing of the shot and the use of chain techniques are very skillful. Lei, whose desire to win was also fully stimulated. The commentary is even more eyeball-eyed. 7 consecutive strikes in less than 2 seconds. What's even more terrifying, the Thunder Tiger players actually blocked all of them. Although Thunder Tiger is a thunder magician, but his melee combat ability is really ridiculously strong. As an old acquaintance, though, Ma Ritian had already sensed the anomaly. Logically speaking, Lei, who is very aware of his strength. But why could he tolerate being close all the time? As if to confirm Ma Ritian's words, a smile appeared on Lei, whose face. In the next second, there was a tingling sensation under his feet. It's only now that I'm reacting. It's too late. With Thunder Tiger half a step back, the thunder circle on the ground has finally begun to activate. Dense. It's all about winning Ma Ritian. Lei, who has put a lot of effort into it. It is also because of Ma Ritian's strength that he has a clear understanding. That's why Lei, who will use this way. The buzzing sound resounded throughout the audience. The lightning circle is activated. The crackling sound exploded in my ears. Endless lightning bolts shot up into the sky. This range and intensity. Ma Ritian has 3 legs. It's also impossible to go out and bang bang. It was as if entering a rain curtain of lightning. Ma Ritian dodged left and right. It really left the range of lightning at the last moment. That's amazing. Even this skill can be dodged. Unfortunately, it's too late. Boom! The spear of lightning shot out at a rapid pace. Thunder Tiger. The timing of the skill is too good. Ma Ritian just stopped his body. The electric spear is already in front of you. It's too late to dodge this distance. Stretch out your hands. Ma Ritian made a move that shocked the audience. Palm firmness. Ma Ritian actually grabbed the thunder spear with his bare hands. A crackling sound kept coming out of the palm of his hand. Bite the bullet. Ma Ritian didn't dare to let go at all. There was a loud bang. The thunder spear detonates a furious thunderbolt power. Put Ma Ritian completely covered the defense at the same time. You can also lay a magic circle when the circle fails, and condense the Thunder Spear in advance. This guy called Thunder Tiger. The operation is very slippery. The stun status takes effect. Ma Ritian froze in place, and the body is constantly shaking. A way has to be found to fight back. Thunder Tiger is definitely running out of blue. However, it is not that simple. As the saying goes, one ring after another. Lao Tzu is playing a wave. How uncomfortable it is for a professional player to be stuck in a contract. The light of thunder and lightning suddenly skyrocketed. Ma Ritian is still in a state of paralysis. The lightning mage's bug is vividly reflected at this moment. Even if he is the king of operation, Ma Ritian can only wait for the thunder to come, accompanied by Thunder Tiger's skill activation. A huge pillar of thunder rose into the sky. Ma Ritian looked shocked. Why is this guy's blue amount so much? In the battle just now, Lei, who has arranged dozens of magic circles. Coach Ryu saw a hint of clues. This kid actually got the mana return trait. This thing is a blessing for magicians. You can return a percentage of the mana used. Figure out the key. Ma Ritian couldn't help laughing. It's you, Big Brother Thunder Tiger. The thunder took a sharp turn of the way. Thunder Tiger's skills are ready and melee tough. I really think my head is broken. The little brother is still too slow to react. Listen to the sound of crackling overhead. Ma Ritian fell into hesitation. Is it time to use that trick? Isn't it a little too early? Just when Ma Ritian was thinking and falling into thought, Thunder Tiger's lightning attack has fallen. In an instant, thunder engulfed the entire area. This is the ultimate move for a lightning mage. Ma Ritian is going to be planted this time, but in the next second, a scene that shocked everyone appeared. Ma Ritian raised his fist intact. Even Ryu was stunned. What the hell is this guy doing? Li Yuyang was even more silent. Look closely. The direction of the thunder bombardment was not Ma Ritian. The enemy can be empty even if he stands still. This is even more outrageous than flashing into a wall. The Pony King, who is also a teammate, is also confused by Thunder Tiger's operation. This is just plain-sighted. Take a deep breath. Lei, who snorted heavily. The little brother is scared silly. How is the eldest brother's hand? Staring at the pit that was blown out by the thunder. The commentators were dumbfounded. The good news is that it's powerful. The bad news is that it's missed. Only Ma Ritian himself knows best. That kid definitely did it on purpose. It is impossible for Thunder Tiger to make such a low-level mistake. The paralysis time is over. Ma Ritian rushed out at an accelerated pace. The right fist swings back quickly. A piercing cry had been heard. But at this critical juncture, the corners of Lei, whose mouth lifted slightly. Bang! The fist slammed into Lei, whose face. The powerful force devoured Thunder Tiger's body in an instant. Standing still was beaten by the Thunder Tiger. You don't have to. Ma Ritian couldn't figure it out. Match fixing can have a direct impact on your career. Big Brother Thunder Tiger. We can play fair. Unexpectedly, Lei, who just smiled faintly. The club deliberately stuck its own contract. Do you really think Lao Tzu is muddy? Since Lei, who insisted on doing so, Ma Ritian didn't hesitate too much. Quick punches. Ma Ritian ended the battle as fast as he could. So far, Ma Dongwang's team won another game. So far, there is only one person left in the 1v1 team. Is Pony going to start a 1-on-5 battle again? As the light array flickered, the Pony King slowly walks into battle. This scene made Li Yuyang climax one after another. Only he himself knows. How high is the gold content of the battle of the two horses? Whether it is in a past life or in this life. Both horses are top-notch. For the performance of the Thunder Tiger, Ma Dongye is really disdainful. Blatantly against the club. None of such players will end well. And this guy, Thunder Tiger, It's just riding on the head of the club owner, and it will completely anger the 1t1 team and scratch their heads. Ma Dongye sighed helplessly. The children who have not dried up have really not been beaten by society. Just as Pony King sighs at Thunder Tiger's wisdom. King Ma Dong's fist had already come to the front. There was a loud bang. The fist was smashed out with flames. Good boy does sneak attack, right? The fist was blocked with one hand. Ma Ritian was also taken aback. However, just as he was about to throw a second punch, the Pony King's palm has come to him. The aura of terror weighed down like a mountain. See this scene? Ma Ri has a strong intuition. If you get caught again, there will be certain death. The old bird couldn't have imagined anything. Pony King is even better than himself. Seeing that the palm of his hand is about to grab himself, Ma Ritian could only hurriedly retreat. This guy's strength is terrifying. If it is held directly, the battle may be over. He meowed. Why are people with the surname Ma so strong? Lao Tzu was very suspicious that the author himself was surnamed Ma. Only Li Yuyang knows. The winter knight of the horse in the previous life. But a ruthless man who has controlled the professional arena for 2.5 years. That guy is known for his strong physical body and talent for fighting. The whole gaming circle is accelerating again. Ma Ritian was just about to continue to get close. Pony King's fist was already close to his body. But Ma Ritian stopped at a critical moment. Just dodged. The other punch that swept Pony King was already here. Ma Ritian can only swoop and dodge. In an instant, he was behind the Pony King. Here's your chance. Fist charged quickly. There was a loud bang. A swift fist slams into the Pony Queen's back. Brother Ma floated dryly. Lu Shuriwe, who was outside the arena, shouted excitedly. Got the opportunity to output. Ma Ritian is unforgiving. The fists are constantly pumping out like machine guns. The orcs do far outperform the Terrans in their defenses and attacks. But the Terrans also have a sensitivity that orcs can't match. In this suffocating style of play, Pony King can only resist stiffly. Lu Shuriwe almost jumped up with excitement. See, this is the true strength of Manga. Right now, an indifferent voice came from behind him. It's too early to rejoice. Always ready to replace Ma Ritian. Normally, the situation in front of us is indeed Ma Ritian's advantage. But whether it is Ryu or Li Yuyang, I saw one of them. Ma Ritian's attack speed is indeed very fast. But the attack power is too low. There's no way to break the defense. As the coach and captain said, Ma Ritian's own feelings are the most obvious. The attack, he gritted his teeth and insisted on, really didn't do any real damage. The narrator's eyes widened in shock. Pony King seems powerless, but his health bar barely dropped. Snorted. Pony King makes a disdainful sound. Annoying flies. Have you had enough? Hear this. Ma Ritian was taken aback. But in the next second, Pony King has already moved his punching bag-sized fist. Slowly lift the fast output of the hard anti-horse day by day. Pony still raised his left fist to the top. Go to hell. The ants follow the cold voice of the Pony King. The fist that looked like a cannonball had fallen. Bang! The fist is right on target. Ma Ritian is hit head-on by Pony King. Powerful power comes out of the body. It was as if being hit head-on by a 1,000-ton truck. Ma Ritian's body smashed directly into the wall. With one blow of ordinary attack, Ma Ritian was powerless to fight back. This moment, Pony King's dominance is on display once again. Lu Shiyue's mouth opened wide in shock. She couldn't say anything anymore. The same goes for the audience. How hard this man's fists really are. The rustle of flames resounded throughout the audience. Pony King smiled faintly. Let King Ma Dong come. You are no match for me. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Ma Ritian was dealt a fatal blow. At the moment when the fist touches the abdomen, that guy activated the earthquake effect. That's why so much damage can be done. Li Yuyang's brows furrowed. Ma Tian is an agile player. Pony King is a power player. It is the so-called miracle of great force. When the defense and power are large to a certain extent, the advantage of speed has no effect. And most importantly, this guy is extremely fond of hand-to-hand combat. Also a professional boxer in reality. So this Bomade is really dangerous. Half of your health remains. Ma Tian's arms were trembling. He knew that there was a disparity in the strength of orcs and humans. But I didn't expect the gap to be so big. The little fly still doesn't admit defeat. What are you waiting for? Seeing that Ma Tian still wants to delay time, Pony King finally can't help it. Hammer the ground with both fists. In an instant, a ferocious storm spread rapidly. Vortex effect. Unleash a huge pulling force. Coming from the front, Ma Tian retreated as hard as he could. However, the force of the vortex still greatly affected his speed. The left fist is charged again. Take advantage of the pulling time of the vortex. The Pony King has arrived in front of Ma Tian. With a bang, the fist struck again. Ma Tian can only use his arms to block. After the Cataclysm version, the best tanks and auxiliaries are orc warriors, thief, and archers. It is still the orcs who have the greatest advantage. So the orcs are the version of the answer. You Terrans should have been eliminated a long time ago. As Pony King's words fell, his fists were also striking rapidly. Ma Tian protects his body. Only fist gloves can be used to resist hard. Take advantage of the gap between Pony King's outputs. Ma Tian once again found an opportunity to fight back. Straight punches punch hard. Direct hits. However, the next second Pony King doesn't feel anything at all. His body didn't even retreat in the slightest. What's wrong? Did you hit the nail on the head? But everything Lao Tzu said is true. Bang! The left hook hit Ma Tian furiously. His body was knocked out again. And that's not all. I don't wait for the sun to fall at all. Pony King held out his palm again. Vortex start. The huge suction force once again acted on Ma Tian's body. The strength and defense of the two are not of the same order of magnitude at all. Ma Tian is like a toy. Once again, he is smashed out by Pony King. Left fist plus a large pendulum. The right fist smashed into Ma Tian's body again. There was a loud click. The ground was shattered with fists. A great pain came from his body. Ma Tian was pressed to the ground and rubbed again. In the face of absolute power, all bells and whistles are useless. Once again, Pony King proves this iron law. And the reason why Pony King is called Pony King, it is because the fist he wears on his hand is the same as that of King Ma Dong. Possessed both seismic and vortex skills. But after Ma Dongwang's signature skill killed you, it was the little girl's turn. It's useless for a rookie like you to come. I have only one goal. That is King Ma Dong. I'm going to take out the small words in my name for this battle. As soon as the words fell, Pony King's fist is already in the air. If this punch hits, Ma Tian will be eliminated from the competition. There was a thud of rubble. The entire field was obscured. The narrator was so shocked that he almost stood up. Ma Tian was mortally attacked, but he didn't wait for him to finish his words. Suddenly, there was an exclamation from the audience. A dramatic scene ensued. Pony King's nose is bleeding. The Pony King, who is always in control of the rhythm. He was actually injured in front of the finishing punch. Pony King himself is also fierce. It's obviously Lao Tzu's fist. Why was it me who was hurt? Think back to the scene just now. Ma Tian's spine has fallen into a coma. But at the moment when the fist fell, Ma Tian suddenly opened his eyes. It all happened too suddenly. Perhaps only replay can see everything just now. However, even Ma Tian dodged the fatal blow. In his current state, how is he going to fight the Pony King? Take advantage of this opportunity. Is the Horse King team going to change? However, the aura of the bad guys did not flicker. Mauritian chose to continue fighting. Pony has lost his patience. He wants to fight King Ma Dong to prove his strength. You will surely die with this punch. With straight punches out, Mauritian actually took his body one step ahead. Bang! A more rapid fist slams into Pony King's body. This damage shocks Pony. The guy who was weak just now. Why did you suddenly become so brave? The palms of your hands sparkle. The vortex once again unleashed a powerful suction force and appeared on Mauritian's body. Take advantage of the moment of sharp interference with the other party. Pony's right fist is ready. Lao Tzu's 30 years of skill. What are you going to hide? But not before Pony King's fist fell. Mauritian counterattacked with extreme precision. Velocity. That's the beauty of speed. The fist slams into Pony's face. Powerful forces began to push forward. Pony King tries to fight with his body. But the next second, another fist is coming again. Punches in a row. Quick punches. Mauritian seems to have been opened up to the second vein of Rendu. The whole person is completely in a state of fighting. The streak has just ended. And the West slammed up. There was a loud bang. The Pony King's face and Mauritian's knees came into close contact. This blow finally takes its toll on Pony. Li Yuyang also smiled faintly. Only fighting can improve strength. Mauritian's talent is not weaker than that of the Pony King. Lehu also laughed. Well played. Is worthy of being Lao Tzu's junior brother. My little pony's face becomes more and more ugly. He had completely lost his patience. However, Pony King doesn't notice. At this moment, Mauritian has grown orc ears. Mauritian, after completing the Tower of Babel. This kid chose to join the demon camp. After the cataclysm, he chose the orc race again. At first, because of the soaring power, Mauritian was very happy. But it didn't take long for him to regret it. The way orcs fight is not what Mauritian likes and is good at. So in order to join the Terran clan of the King of Horses, also in order to realize their ideals, Mauritian is eager to reset his race. After learning about this idea, Li Yuyang just smiled slightly. It's very easy to do. I'm giving you a starter pack. Enough to solve any problem you have. A jingle bell. Mauritian picked up his phone and looked at it. A special item appears in his in-game account. Living fossil S-class ornaments. This thing is S-class though, but it's not too expensive. But for Mauritian, the role of living fossils is indeed the most appropriate. When the amount of HP is above a certain value, he will be able to maintain his pre-cataclysm race. And after the amount of HP drops to a certain value, Mauritian will restore the body of the orc. This is also to keep Mauritian in the power of the orcs. The reason why I can join the clan as a Terran again. Race change in the middle of the race. This scene completely shocked Pony King. He has seen a lot, but I still haven't been able to figure out what the reason is. The speed skyrocketed again. Mauritian approaches the Pony King again, changing with his footsteps. Mauritian is behind the Pony King again. Tan Li's body and speed. Mauritian can completely blow up the Pony King. Bite the bullet. The fist slammed again. The orc's panel erupts. Just listen to a click. There was a heart-piercing pain in his waist. Blood spurted out. Pony King finally screamed. Fist sweep. He also wanted to fight back. But Mauritian had already predicted in advance. Take the most extreme position. Dodging fists. Bang! Mauritian punched again, this time with his power exploding. Pony King flew out in his entirety. What the hell is going on? In just a few minutes, the attacker flips directly. How did Mauritian do it? The thud resounded throughout the arena in an instant. Fast and hard fists. Leave Pony King completely passive. There is human agility and the strength of the orcs. At this moment, the Mari genius is a truly perfect orc race. Swept in with a high leg lift. Pony King also wants to fight back. But Mauritian went faster. Kicked on the ankle of Pony King. Lu Hong asked curiously. What the hell is Mauritian? Switching back and forth between the two races. If you look closely at the picture, you can see it. Mauritian was an orc when he punched. When he dodged, he became a human. That's why he's kept his agility high. And superpower. Li Yuyang smiled faintly. He made use of the mechanics of living fossils. Just keep your HP within a certain percentage. Rely on your own life to recover. Then deliberately block some attacks. Can achieve the goal of controlling the beasts and humans at will. These words are simple to say, but it's actually hard to do. Mauritian is completely dancing on a tightrope. After listening to these words, Lu Hong was even more puzzled. Why bother to do it? It would be nice to keep it in orc form all the time. In fact, only Li Yuyang understands. Mauritian, it's all forced out. In fact, even if he was transformed into an orc, Mauritian still has a certain gap with Pony King on the panel. It is also to use the two specialties of the human race and the beast race. In order to bridge the gap between the two sides, use the human body to find the right time to strike. Then use the orc's body to attack. This set of combos is truly terrifying. The corners of Li Yuyang's mouth lifted slightly. Same as memories of my past life. Mauritian is really a combat genius. At this moment, Mauritian once again proved his potential to the world. The little flyer really lives up to its name. Seeing yourself fall into the disadvantage. Pony King couldn't hold back at all. He yelled angrily. Both fists hit the ground hard. This trick looks extremely familiar. Earthquakes plus eddies. Ma Dong Wong's signature combination. The moment when the sharpness reaches the body. The damage of the earthquake has also come to the fore. Pony King is also a last resort. He's running out of health bars. If you get close again, maybe you have to be eliminated early. The rumble resounded throughout the audience. Pony King is like a giant bomb. It exudes a terrifying aura in all directions. The fourth child has to use the only amount of blue left. Please taste the horror of combos. With the health bar decreased, Mauritian entered orc mode again. Li Yuyang's smile became even richer. Pony King had a good idea. It's a pity, though. His calculations were doomed to fail. Raise your right foot high. Then he slammed into the ground. There was a loud click. Mauritian dived into the land like a nail. See this scene? Pony King's face is full of shock. Why is he not affected by vortex currents? How many hands is this guy hiding? The vortex continues to increase. In order to be able to make Mauritian lose control, the Pony King has raised his right hand. Put all the power on the vortex. Unexpectedly, Mauritian suddenly laughed. Don't waste your efforts, boy. This kind of sharpness is not as good as a hair of the king of horses. Lao Tzu can hold on as long as he wants. Loss suppression effect on attributes. Pony King is out of rampant chips. Because now Mauritian, even if it is placed in the entire orc race, it is an extremely top-notch existence. Long-distance tensile force generated by eddy currents. For Mauritian, it's like tickling. Fist raised. Mauritian has come to the Pony King. This punch will kill the match. Lu Shuriwed jumped up even more excitedly. Brother Nyocha's finishing move to kill him. There was a loud bang. Fist slams down on Pony. Powerful forces continue to erupt. In the pony's exasperated gaze, Mauritian continues to exert force. The whole ground was blown apart. As the saying goes, if you don't have blood, you won't play. Mauritian perfectly interprets this sentence. The screeching sound of leather shoes rubbing against the table. The narrator stands on the table regardless of the image. The words were shouted out loud. We are champions. The Horse King team. Bullfighting God Mauritian Hun Navis Luciu. The Horse King team only uses 2 people. He completely defeated the ET1 team. This moment, Team Horse King has proven itself once again. They are the #1 seeds in the Asian Cup. They are the gods of esports. As the tryouts came to an end, the audience cheered. The myth of the King of Horses continues. Let's stay tuned for their performances in the Asian Cup. Li Yuyang is still playing steadily. He was the one who shouted the most in the crowd. Lu Hong also shed tears of excitement. The little sister is out of breath. Lei, who is even more emotional. It is worthy of being the team in Lao Tzu's photo. It's a pity. If only I could join them too. Team coach Ryu held the microphone and smiled slightly. Our players still have a lot of tricks to show. I believe we will get better results in the Asian Cup.